this is completely BS. This is shame. Shame for the referees, shame for the league to allow this. 23 free throws for them, and we get 2 free throws in the fourth quarter. Like, how to play the game. I understand respect for all stars and all that, but we have star players on our team as well. How's possible that Scotty Barnes, who is all-star caliber player in this league, he goes every single time to the rim with force and trying to get to the rim without flopping and not trying to get foul calls. He gets 2 free throws for a whole game. How's that possible? How are you going to explain that to me? If that's the case, just let us know so we don't show up for the game. Just give them a win. But that was not fair tonight. And this is not happening first time for us. Scotty Barnes is going to be all-star. He's going to be the face of this league. And what's happening over here during whole season, I've been holding it back. It's a complete crap.
You know what, my man? I take exception with only one thing that you said. Scotty Barnes is not going to be the face of the league.
Scotty Barnes.
Do you know why, Darko? Hear me out on this. Scotty Barnes, nice player. Really nice player. Scotty Barnes is not going to be the face of that league. Do you know why? Because you are, Darko. You're the face of the league.
It's a complete crap.
And anybody who thinks otherwise is a complete crap.
It's a complete crap.
God, that is so good. That is so well reasoned and so well stated and so fair and so accurate and so impassioned. Best money ever spent. And I love the point that he made that it wasn't just a bad night for the refs. It, in effect, was intentional. And, Alvy, it's not the first time Darko has said this. He's brought it up before. Why is nobody listening? Why is it not changing? Like Darko's saying, I know it's a star-driven league. I get it. I know the fans are paying good money to see the stars. I understand that too. I'm not an idiot. I'm not stupid. But we have stars. We have Scotty Barnes. Respect our stars. And if you're not going to, and you're going to decide who you want to win before the game is played, let us know that too, and then we won't show up.
How's that possible? How are you going to explain that to me? If that's the case, just let us know so we don't show up for the game. Just give them a win.
How is that possible? Just explain that to me. How are we going to get a win? If we're not going to get a win and the game's already been decided, then just let us know. You know what the amazing thing is? I hate to say this, but what's the biggest fear of any... It's a complete crap. You're right. What is the biggest fear of any sports league? Why do you think they banned Pete Rose back in the day? It's that the games are fixed. And that's kind of what he's saying. You know, in effect, like, if that's what you're going to do and you're going to decide ahead of time, let us know. And then we just won't show up. 25 gur is cheap, my man. I think they disrespected you again. That was at least, there should be another 0 added to that. That's at least $250,000 crackback on the ref show. Darko, my guy, I would find a camera and do another rant about how offensive that fine is. You don't respect me enough to hit me with a real fine after that?
It's a complete crap.
I love this guy so much. Darko, you rule, dude. I wish I had any game whatsoever. I'd run through a brick wall for you. They should have fined LeBron.
I feel like they fouled and we did.
That is worthy of a fine. He should have been fined for that nonsense. Are your wiper blades chattering, skipping, or squeaking? Purchase new wiper blades from O'Reilly Auto Parts, and they will install them for free. See better and drive safer with O'Reilly Auto Parts. Stop by today to learn more at O'ReillyAuto.com. Clones, what do we want when we're craving protein or we need some more energy? Not bars, not sugary snacks, not energy drinks. What we want is beef, pure and simple. So where's the beef? It's in a package of Old Trapper beef jerky. Old Trapper is not your father's jerky. It's not shriveled, dry, and tasteless. Old Trapper beef jerky is made from lean strips of steak and quality spices that are smoked over a real wood fire. So it's tender and it's tasty. It's not tough. And why is it so good? Because Old Trapper is a 50-year-old family business known for their relentless commitment to quality. They take smoked beef extremely seriously, and you can taste it in every single bite. Old Trapper is packed with protein. It comes in 4 great flavors to satisfy all your cravings. Quality smoked meat at its finest that goes with you wherever you go, to the game, to the gym, to the beach. So look for Old Trapper in the Clearview bag. You can see the quality you're buying. Look for it in major retail stores near you. If you don't see it, clones, ask for it by name because no other jerky compares. Old Trapper, what's your beef?
Chico's Mexican Restaurant is the home of the best margaritas. Grab your amigos and head to Chico's every Tuesday for the Gulf of Mexico. A huge 38-ounce lime margarita for only $8.99. On Thursdays, relax and enjoy half-price pitchers of Chico's house margaritas. Choose from lime, strawberry, blood orange, raspberry, or peach. For Mexican food and fun, it's got to be Chico's Mexican Restaurant in downtown Greenville and online at chicosrestaurant.com. Chico's, where the fiesta never ends. UBE and PirateWear.com are proud to offer the Pirate Nation its largest inventory of ECU merchandise and tailgate supplies ever. UBE has the best prices in town, so that makes UBE your one-stop shop for all things ECU. UBE does daily restocks of Champion, Adidas, and Under Armour. Don't forget to bring your young pirates to plunder the Crow's Nest, which is the only kids store dedicated to ECU. Plenty of free parking in Uptown Greenville. Visit them online at PirateWear.com. Go Pirates!
Country Mart has been locally owned and operated for over 40 years and is your premier country store serving the best cheese biscuits and country food around. Country Mart is open every day and has 2 locations in Bethel on Highway 11 and in Stokes on Highway 903. Both Country Mart locations are top-of-the-line fuel stations serving Shell gas, including 93 ethanol-free high-octane gas, which is the best for all you boat owners. Country Mart, fueling you up with great food in your engines with great gasoline. Go Pirates!
Washington's favorite place to eat and where all the locals go is down on Main Street. Down on Main Street's famous weekday lunch specials are only $7.99. Stop by for the house salad with grilled chicken, the half club sandwich with chips, or everyone's favorite, the fried shrimp plate. After work, Down on Main Street is the perfect spot for dinner and a drink on the patio. Join Down on Main Street every Wednesday for half-price wings from 4 to close. Down on Main Street in historic downtown Washington. Go Pirates!
Here with Christy Conway today from ENC Pirate Realty, and you guys are more than real estate agents.
That's right. We also provide property management services for rental properties. We have found that rental property owners have difficulty managing their rental properties effectively. We can provide full-service property management to those owners to include advertising their homes for rent, tenant screening, rent collections, and maintenance coordination. If you have real estate or property management questions, contact us at encpiraterealty.com. Go Pirates!
It's bow time. Chicken or biscuits? That's an impossible choice. How can you decide between Bojangles' perfectly crispy, boldly seasoned chicken or their fluffy, made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuits? Well, the good news is you don't have to. With a Cajun chicken filet biscuit, you get the best of both worlds. An all-white meat chicken breast marinated with a bold blend of seasonings and served up on a fluffy, golden buttermilk biscuit. When it comes to real-deal Southern flavor, there's no reason you can't have it all. Order a Cajun chicken filet biscuit today. It's bow time.
Hi, I'm Walker Allen Volova, and I'm with CopyPro. CopyPro has been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for over 50 years. CopyPro is the leader in office technology. Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at CopyPro, total satisfaction is our #1 priority. We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net. CopyPro, we are the professional office systems people.
Have you ever seen those exotic aquariums like the guys do in Las Vegas on television? You ever thought about having one of these aquariums in your business? It's more affordable than you think. This is Hal Pruitt with rentafishtank.com. We can make having an aquarium in your business turnkey with no work, cleaning, or hassles for you. Rentafishtank.com creates a relaxing atmosphere and keeps children occupied. Rentafishtank.com already services many dental, pediatric, and doctor offices, plus hospitals and senior living centers. Check us out at rentafishtank.com.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington.
Can you be quiet, please? Thank you.
Welcome to Pirate Radio Live.
How's everybody doing?
Clip. Hey, man, good to see you, brother.
Booty, 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 booty everywhere.
Ahí estaba, en el centro. Hoyo de gloria.
Have you scanned your MVP card?
Breakfast was 3 eggs, scrambled light with grits and extra crispy bacon.
Clip, what's up? It's Bryce.
I know, Clip, people are looking for you to sprinkle your magic fairy dust on this whole thing and make it all better.
Let's get to that conversation now. Here is that.
Now live from the Pirate Radio studios in the heart of the Pirate Nation, here is your host, Clip Brock.
All right, welcome in to a Victory Thursday edition of Pirate Radio Live. I'm Sheldon Honeycutt here with you, alongside Shirley Rhodes and intern Alex Harper. Got a lot to talk about today because, like I said, it's a Victory Thursday. By the way, you can listen to us on 92.7 FM right here in Greenville, 104.1 in Washington, or you can find us online, pr927fm.com. Like I said, a lot to talk about today. Pirates get a road win at Temple. We'll also talk some Pirate basketball with Mark Adams. Clip Brock talked to him earlier today. We'll also talk to Holton Ahlers. By the way, today was a big day for Pirate Radio and for Holton Ahlers as he launched the Holton Ahlers Show earlier today. I was able to listen to some of that. About an hour and 37 minutes was that show, and it was all great content with Holton Ahlers and the walk-ons. You can go back on YouTube and podcast platforms and listen to that if you missed it. And we'll also continue our baseball talk with Austin Knight in the 5 o'clock hour. And also, I missed out on Jeff Nadeau. We'll also talk to Jeff Nadeau talking about gambling with the wild card weekend coming up this weekend. So don't want to miss that with Jeff Nadeau. Once again, welcome into Pirate Radio Live here on a Thursday. First of all, I want to introduce Shirley Rhodes. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Happy Thursday to you.
Happy Thursday. Happy Friday Eve.
Happy Friday Eve to you. Alex Harper is with us as well. The intern, Alex Harper, the long snapper, Alex Harper. Coming off a big win last night at A.J. McMurphy's. It was his first time at trivia.
Oh, buddy.
And, man, how does it feel for, one, to go out to trivia and enjoy and be a part of that? Two, how is it to actually win on your first try?
It's an amazing experience. A.J. McMurphy's, great host, trivia night, awesome time, good friends, good beverages, good food.
I did, and you brought your girlfriend with you too.
I did,
and she was a big part of that.
I did.
That table, a big part of that win last night. And I want to get this out of the way before we get into the ECU basketball talk. Probably the answer of the night, probably the answer that got us the win. Name these two Eagles running backs. I know the guy on the left is Darren Sproles. And the guy on the right, I was like, who is this guy? And you, growing up a West Virginia fan, knew that it was Wendell Smallwood.
Yeah, Wendell Smallwood, baby.
So I went up there with the answer. It was correct, and I do believe that is what propelled us to the win last night. So congratulations on your first ever win at A.J. McMurphy's.
I appreciate it. It was definitely a team effort. I'm just kind of scared now. You just outed me as growing up a West Virginia fan.
There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, look, but I also know you personally. I know you grew up an ECU fan. You're now a Pirate playing on the football team, so it's all good.
Oh, I bleed purple and gold, man. Don't get that mistaken.
All right, well, let's go ahead and get into the ECU basketball talk because we have to. I want to say something. Crank up the band. Just go ahead.
Give me a second.
Go ahead and just crank it up. I want to hear it right now because I'm about to say something that I have never said in my life. The Pirates beat Temple at Temple. It's the first time I've ever said that.
It's the first time it's ever happened.
It's the first time it's ever happened. That is exactly right, Shirley Rose. That is why this is the first time I'm able to say that. The Pirates go on the road and beat the Owls 73-62. What a win for the Pirates. They moved to 2-1 on the season, and that makes this game Saturday against SMU that much bigger. Can the Pirates move to 3-1 on the year in conference play, 10-7 overall? They now sit 9-7 after the win last night over the Owls. What a big time win. And not just to go on the road and win, but to do it in dominant fashion. That's exactly what the Pirates did. R.J. Felton led the way for the Pirates last night with 20 points. He was 2 for 3 from the three-point line, or from the three-point line, I should say. Just a huge win for the basketball team last night. I know we sat here yesterday, me and Clip, not feeling good about this game, not just because East Carolina historically is not good on the road, but they never went to Temple and got a win. That's never happened before since 2015. You can no longer say that. Pirates get it done last night behind R.J. Felton's 20 points. Ezra Asar was just behind him. He had 18 points. Get this. Ezra Asar has not been good from the charity stripe this year. I'm going to just be honest. And I can be honest because it's out there in the open for everyone to see. He's not been great. But last night, you can't say that. Because from the line last night, Ezra was 6 for 6 going to the line. 6 for 6 from Ezra Asar, and he gets 18 points. Now, get this. You want to take a guess? You might know this, Shirley. How many bench points did the Pirates have last night?
I have no idea.
4 points.
4 points off the bench.
Just off the bench. The starters got it done last night. Just off the bench, there was 4 points scored from Caleb LeCount and Jaden Walker, each having 2 points of their own. And I want to say Caleb LeCount's points came from the line. So the starters got it done. I'll go through the stats right now.
Well, you know, while you're doing that, while you're pulling up the stats, we talked about this yesterday when we talked about how Ezra doesn't he actually has more points off the free throw line than he does from the floor.
Yep.
And but that's where you need him in a game like this, where you need free throws, you know, to put points on the board. And you know, I mean, RJ is getting it done on the floor, so you kind of can, you know, I don't want to say take your foot off the gas as far as Ezra is concerned, but having a guy like that can go to the line and get you the free throws that you need. I mean, that is, you look at it, how many games that you've ever watched in college basketball are won and lost at the free throw line?
Oh, absolutely.
To have a guy as consistent as Ezra is, you know, I'll take that any day of the week.
You look at the 3 big losses that we've had this year when it comes to teams that we should have beat that we lost to. Let's go to USC Upstate. Let's go to Northeastern. You might go back. I don't remember the free throw percentage against East Tennessee State. But you look at the USC Upstate game and you look at the Northeastern game, Pirates, I want to say, had double-digit misses at the line.
Yeah.
I mean, that plays a huge part in whether you can win or lose a basketball game. And last night, the Pirates were awesome at the line. They only missed 1 shot at the line. They went 10 for 11 at the free throw line. So 20 points from R.J. Felton, 15 points from Brandon Johnson. Like I said earlier, Ezra with 18 points as well. Cam Hayes, 9 points. And I said this to Clip earlier. By the way, Clip Brock out. He will be back in the 4 o'clock hour, so don't worry about that. Talking to Clip earlier, does everyone remember Clip being on the Brandon Sugg, the Sugg boat, as we called it?
Yeah.
I remember being like, man, what's so special about Brandon Suggs? And this is where Clip goes and says, you don't know about basketball. You have no idea what you're talking about when it comes to basketball. Because I also was not a fan of Andre Washington. He was like, and I said, because offensively he was just, you know, pathetic. He said, well, that's not what he's here for. Same way with Brandon Suggs. Brandon Suggs was a stat stuffer. You look at all the different categories in the stat sheet, and there's going to be some numbers there. And that's kind of like what Cam Hayes is doing right now. 9 points, 1 steal, 2 assists, and 4 rebounds. I mean, that's doing a lot in different categories. And, I mean, he's helping out. It looks like he's getting comfortable on the floor because those first few games, there wasn't much being shown from Cam Hayes. I remember the Florida Atlantic game. I want to say he had 4 or 5 turnovers. In the past couple of games, he's only had 1 turnover, and that includes last night. So Cam Hayes seems to be getting comfortable. Bobby Pettiford, 7 points for him last night, the transfer from Kansas. So Pirates are 2-1, and to get a win on the road just feels really good.
Well, I mean, they've come few and far between for East Carolina. I mean, we've always struggled on the road. I would say probably a little more so than other teams. I mean, a lot of teams it's difficult to win a game on the road, but it seems like more so for us than anybody else. But you also talked about those players. They don't necessarily have to put points on the board, like you said. They all have different roles to play, and sometimes the stats don't always show it. I mean, when you've got somebody that can play really good defense, that can stifle a point guard, and that point guard can't set up a play, can't get the pass off to the wing for the open three-point shot. I mean, those are the little intangibles that you're seeing that Mike Schwartz is a huge fan of. I mean, he wants that stifling, intense defensive play from our players. So sometimes it's not always the points, it's what you do on the floor to alter a play or to alter a shot or whatever the case may be. Those are the intangibles that sometimes will help you win ball games, and in that case last night, that's exactly what happened.
Let's say hey to the chat gang right quick. Steve's in the chat saying HTMFs, HT to you, my friend. Jamie's also in the chat, as he is just about every single day. Chad Pike is in the chat as well. Tyler, Ryan, Kaz, and that's about it in the chat game today. I saw a comment from Tyler, and I will read this because I remember saying this, and I did say that the men would win, and unfortunately, the women would lose, and that's exactly what happened last night. Kim McNeil and her ball club finally get a loss in the conference, losing to UAB and Minji's last night.
Yeah, they came out the gate really strong. They had a great first half. They go into the locker room, come out in the third quarter. Holy cow, I don't know what UAB had while they were in the locker room, but when they came out in the third quarter, they were dropping threes like it was nothing. And all of a sudden, they scored 29 points in the third quarter, 13 three-pointers for UAB. And when you're struggling from the floor, you can't get we had point-blank shots that weren't going in. Karina Gordon was struggling from the floor. She missed a few free throws that could have dwindled the game into we did get it into the single digits in the fourth quarter, but we could not just close that gap, and unfortunately we ran out of time. That third quarter was an absolute nightmare for the Pirates because every time there was a three-pointer, and her name was Maddie something, and I cannot remember her last name for UAB, but Denham DeShields, their point guard for the Blazers, played an amazing game. She was dishing it to everybody that was open, and it just proved advantageous. So now the Pirates are now 2-1 in conference play. Still not a bad place to be, but you want to get as many conference wins as you can, and now they're going to have to go back out on the road on Saturday. They're going to be taking on Tulane in New Orleans, and that tip-off is at 3 o'clock. It's going to be streamed on ESPN Plus, and you can you're really starting to see just how important players like Sania Johnson and Micah Dennis were to that lineup, because not having both of them in the lineup for Kim McNeil's ball club, and then Karina Gordon, who's just a freshman, having to step in and play some very important minutes. While it's advantageous for you, you also have to go through some of those growing pains where you're transitioning from being a high school player to a freshman college basketball player, and it's going to be, there's going to be a little bit of a transition time, a little bit of growing pains at that point guard position. But and Amaya Joyner, she did what she normally does, which is she has clocked her sixth double-double of the season. She finished with 16 points, 15 rebounds, also threw in a blocked shot in there. She now has 75 blocked shots in her career here at East Carolina, and just keep in mind, she's only a sophomore, so she has got plenty of time to break all sorts of records. She's moved up, I think it's 6th in program history as far as block shots go for ECU basketball. So, we're getting some of that production that we're expecting from Amaya. The Weiss twins, Tatiana and Talia, they're both starting to really come along. So if we can get that point guard position kind of short up a little bit, get some more playing time, and watching Karina mature as that point guard position as the season goes along, I think it's going to help us in the long run. although there's no denying that we certainly miss Sania and Micah on the floor.
No doubt about that. Now ECU and ECU's men's and women's matching their conference records at 2-1, getting a chance to move to 3-1 over the weekend. Let's continue our ECU basketball talk. Let's continue to talk about that win against Temple, as Clip was able to talk to ECU assistant men's basketball coach Mark Adams earlier today, and here is that. All right, let's head out to the Pirate Radio Live line. Joining us, ECU assistant basketball coach Mark Adams, coming off a Pirate Road victory last night over the Temple Owls, 73-62. Coach Adams, we appreciate your time. How you doing today?
Well, good. These are fun when we get to talk to you after a big win. So glad to be on the show, Cliff.
Absolutely. And, Coach, I've been around here a long time. You are in year number 1. Road wins are tough to come by for the Pirates and really across college basketball. Talked about that with Cy Seymour yesterday. But that's the first ever win at Temple since ECU and Temple were partners in the American Athletic Conference. It's 2 wins in a row for the Pirates, trying to get to 3 wins in a row in the AAC for the first time ever. So I know it's a small accomplishment maybe in the world of college basketball you've coached in, but pretty big deal around here, Coach. And I hope you guys are able to enjoy it. I know you got to move on quickly, but hopefully you and the staff and the players can enjoy these things.
Well, we did last night, and so proud of our guys. I know Coach Schwartz was as well. As our, to win on the road, I don't know what conference you're in, Clip. There's a discipline and just a determination. You just have to have such a strong will to go into someone else's house and steal a victory from them. And our guys did that. And I thought for the most part we hustled them. We were more determined. We were more disciplined and played the game the right way, and it showed on the scoreboard. So huge win for us, and it's something to build on. We've won 2 in a row, and we really like the way we're playing right now.
Mark Adams joining us. East Carolina and SMU coming up Saturday. Big one in Minges, hoping for a good crowd. And, Coach, you've experienced a loud Minges a few times this year. I know we talked to you before the season about what that would be like. What's your experience like so far when home games get a little loud there?
Yeah, I mean, it just makes such a big difference, Clip. When you look at our guys, the momentum, when it's in your favor, it's even gets even more loud, and I think it hurts your opponent. But what it really helps is when your opponent gets on a run, and besides just getting over there and giving them a pep talk during one of those timeouts, you get that crowd involved, and it just helps them so much. Just gives them more energy to play off of, and you look around the country, and the teams that are winning their home games and winning them consistently, it's because they have a good crowd. So we're certainly going to need one on Saturday.
And, man, the home court advantage just showed up across the country this week with all the top 10, top 5 teams losing here in the last couple of nights. Talking to Mark Adams. He joins us on the Pirate Radio Live line. The big 3, quote-unquote, with R.J. Felton, Ezra, and B.J. all in double figures last night. R.J., the Warrior, playing 39 minutes, had 20 points. Brandon with 15, and Ezra with 18. And Coach, one thing with Ezra, 6 of 8 from the field. You'll take that, obviously. 6 of 6 from the free throw line. And if there's been one bugaboo in Ezra's game the past couple of seasons, it's been the free throw shooting. Last couple of games, he has been much better at it. And I know it's something he's got to work on all the time, but he has improved that part of his game, Coach. About 6 for 6 last night at the line on the road for Ezra.
Yeah, that was great. He's been doing a lot of work in the gym, and I've been helping him with his free throws, and I'm just kidding. I wish I could take credit for it. That's just been him getting in there and a lot of repetition. But he does get fouled a lot, and so it's important he gets to the free throw line. And yeah, Ezra had a good game. You talk about those top 3, but RJ and Brandon were exceptional on both ends. We're still pushing Ezra to be a little better on the defensive side of the ball because he's so athletic and he can guard everybody, and so we're still challenging there. But for RJ to play 39 minutes and Brandon's always playing between 35 and 40 minutes, those guys were just phenomenal, made huge plays on the defensive end as well, and then making big shot after big shot. So excited that when those guys put good games together. We're tough. When we have 2 or 3 guys that can fill up the stat sheet and they're getting the most minutes and shoot the way those two are, it keeps us in every ball game.
Talking to Mark Adams, coach, last night, Temple shooting 36%, 25 from 3, and only 7 turnovers. Pretty low turnover game for the opponent, especially coming off 19 for Tulsa last weekend. But are you pleased? 62 points for the Owls. Will you take that? Were you pleased with the defensive effort last night?
Yeah, we were. I thought it was one of our best defensive efforts of the year. And only thing, you look at the stat sheet, we only turned them over, I think it was 7 or 8 times. And they're, Temple's good as far as taking care of the ball. But we want those turnovers to be able to win 14, 15, 16 a game. So this game against SMU, we'll have to do a better job of trying to be a little bit more aggressive and getting the passing lanes and deflect some of those passes, because SMU is great on the offensive glass, so they're going to get more possessions than we will unless we can turn them over. So the defensive side of things, hopefully we can do that. And SMU is really, really good about scoring off their defense, so we've got to match their intensity.
Yeah, a couple of keys there for Saturday, East Carolina and SMU in Minges Coliseum. Coach Adams, we'll let you get back to work. We appreciate you joining us here for a few minutes on the show today, and we'll see you Saturday in Minges.
Okay, always a pleasure. God bless. Thank you.
All right, there is Mark Adams. Man, that game on Saturday is a big one. Pirates have a chance to go back-to-back wins in conference play and improve to 3-1 in the American Athletic Conference and go 10-7 overall. And that game will tip off at 4 o'clock on Saturday inside Minges Coliseum. All right, let's take a timeout. When we return, we'll talk about something that we here at Pirate Radio have been waiting for, that you guys have been waiting for, and that Holton Ahlers and the Walk-Ons have been waiting for. And that is the launch of the Holton Ahlers show. I was able to watch a few minutes of that today, and we'll talk about that show and its launch earlier today. When we return, stay tuned. We'll be right back right after this.
Turkey, ham, bacon, these and other meats are great around the holidays and every other day, but they all leave behind grease when you cook them, and grease is a real pain in the drain. When you pour grease down a drain, it cools and can clog sewer lines. That can lead to sewer spills, which are messy, bad for the environment, and can also be expensive. Never pour grease down the drain. Instead, collect it in a container like a used soup can or jar. Let it cool and throw it away in the trash. Together, we can protect our sewer system and the environment. For more information, go to guc.com.
Basketball season is Bud Light season. Bud Light is America's favorite light beer and the official beer of the ECU Pirates. Whether you're headed to watch a game in person or a viewing party with friends, be sure to pick up or order some Bud Light and enjoy the game. Bud Light carefully brews their beer to be perfect for anywhere there's fun, because when there's fun, Bud Light is there. Have fun this basketball season, Pirate Nation, and always stay in the game, and please drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Go Pirates!
Defense! Defense!
What are you doing?
You haven't heard? Carolina Hardscapes has the best defense in Pitt County. And you know defense wins championships.
What? No. They have the best fence company in Pitt County.
Wait, they do fencing now?
That's right. Just give them a call at 364-1201 and they'll get the job done right. And don't forget, they still do patios, pools, and mulch.
Wow, now that's a championship caliber company. Carolina Hardscapes. Enjoy the outdoors.
The best place to go before hitting the water is Pirate Waters Outfitter in Washington. This is Captain Bo Brooks, and at Pirate Waters Outfitters, we are the best specialty store in eastern North Carolina for fly fishing with the best rods and reels. We have a custom rod and net builder right on site, Camacho Rod Works. Look your best with some of our new outdoor apparel. Everything you need to chase fish on the fly is at Pirate Waters Outfitter on Market Street, right next door to Breaking Bread. We're also on Facebook and Instagram. We are Pirate Waters Outfitters.
Seared Shop House, Greenville's go-to restaurant for premium scratch-made entrees, paired with an impressive selection of wines and cocktails. Seared Shop House. Whether you're celebrating an anniversary, birthday, a special night out, or just want to have the best meal in town, come see why Seared is the place where great atmosphere and great food collide. Seared is now open for lunch Monday through Friday, and be sure to stop in for the best brunch in town Saturday and Sunday. They also offer pickup and delivery. Head to SearedShopHouse.com for online ordering.
This is John Gavigan with the Gavigan Agency. Our top priority is doing what is best for our members. Whether you are buying a new vehicle, a new home, protecting your family with life insurance, or filing a claim, our agency will be there every step of the way. Our goal is to become a trusted advisor for you and your family for all of your personal and commercial insurance needs. Give us a call in Greenville at 756-1400 for a car, home, business, or life insurance quote today, and give us the opportunity to show you the benefits of doing business with someone who cares.
You've had your new computer a few years now, but lately it's been running super slow, acting strange, and you're worried about viruses and losing data.
This is driving me mad!
Let the experts at University PC Care in Greenville and New Bern professionally diagnose your Mac or PC to see what's really going on. They'll determine the root cause and not just symptoms, so you don't waste money fixing the wrong issues. Call 252-558-1280 for in-store or remote service, or make an appointment online at universitypccare.com.
I'm Caleb Stroud, the founder of Stroud's Marine. I grew up on the water and I've loved boating my entire life. In 2012, I decided to give back to the marine community by creating a way for boaters to order pre-owned salvage marine parts online. Stroud's Marine was born to offer incredible prices and unparalleled customer service. We stand behind every part we sell, and our mission is to save you money and get you back on the water as quickly as possible. Visit StroudsMarine.com today for more information. Stroud's Marine, your best source for salvage outboard parts.
This is Lane Hoover, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
Turn this down.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by Pirate Water. Get ready to party, pirates. Go to drinkpiratewater.com to find your new treasure. 21 and older only. Pirate Water. Why be yourself when you can be a pirate? Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? We'll keep it local and print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com, the official sportswear provider of Pirate Radio. Now let's head back into PRL. Here is your host, at least for this hour, Chandler Honeycutt.
All right, thank you, Shirley Rhodes. Welcome back into Pirate Radio Live here on a Thursday. What a big Thursday this is. ECU basketball getting it done last night on the road against Temple. So we're able to celebrate that today. We're also able to celebrate the launch of the Holton Ahlers show, which aired today, I know, on YouTube at 12 o'clock. And what a great show they had. What a great debut show they had. Enjoyed listening to them. I need to go back and try to listen to the whole 1 hour and 37 minutes that they went on their first show. And there's 4 different ways that you can find the Holton Ahlers show. First, on air, Thursdays and Fridays at 6 p.m. You can find it right here on Pirate Radio. On YouTube, go and subscribe if you haven't already, which you should. Smash the sub. Subscribe to Pirate Radio TV on YouTube to watch the show. You can go to your podcasts. You can find the Holton Ahlers show wherever you listen to podcasts on the Pirate Radio podcast channel. Download, listen, and enjoy. And then, of course, on social media, make sure you follow the Holton Ahlers show on X for show drops, the latest guest updates, show topics, contests, and more. Be sure to follow at Holt Ahlers Show and at PR927FM to stay plugged in. So, were you guys able to watch any of it today? Maybe Shirley? I know, Alex, you said that you watched some of it. Were you able to watch some of it, Shirls?
No, I was able to watch maybe the first 10 minutes of it, but unfortunately I had some other things I had to do, so I didn't have time to watch it. I'll try to watch the rest of it tonight when I get a chance, but I did listen to maybe about the first 10 minutes of it.
They seem really comfortable talking today and doing the show, which they've done about 4 or 5 practice runs at this thing, and it was just what great chemistry that they all have. Holton Ahlers, Jack Powers, Caden Norman, and Drew Dodder. They were able to go around the room and introduce each other, talk about their journeys in college football, where they've been, and tell different stories. And they gave their most respected coaches that they liked, whether it was on the ECU staff or maybe another coach that they came across while playing at ECU. They talked about the stadiums that they've went to, what stadiums they didn't like, what stadiums they They did like playing in. Caden Norman told a great Donnie Kirkpatrick story that I will not share with you guys. You have to go to the I'll let you guys go and watch it for yourself. It's a great story about Donnie K. If there's ever a Donnie K story, I want to listen to it, and Caden Norman had a great one as well. I want to talk about this too. I wouldn't consider myself a big podcast guy. Like, I don't listen to a lot of podcasts, but the podcasts that I do listen to, I'm always interested in seeing the setup of the podcast. Now, you can listen to podcasts or you can watch podcasts. And a lot of the podcasts that I watch or that I listen to, I watch. And I like the setup of their studio. I always look to see what they have in their studio. And in this case, the Holton Ahlers Show, it is a pretty cool setup, and I think they're going to probably add some more to it. But, you know, behind Holton Ahlers, you have the ECU helmet. You got the Seahawks helmet. You got his jersey behind him. And behind each player, really, you have their jersey and different things. So I really like the setup of the show and the visual of the Holton Ahlers Show. So, Alex, I know you watched some of it today or listened to the Holton Ahlers Show today. What did you think about it, and what was your initial thoughts? I know you didn't watch the whole thing, did you?
No, I watched about like a half hour of it, and then it was time for me to come here. So I didn't get to finish the whole thing, but they did a fantastic job. I appreciated how honest they were.
Yeah.
You know, because, you know, as players, you know, like Holton said during his show, you know, he spent so much time behind the podium where you kind of have to be a little politically correct. But to see him, you know, give his honest take, especially how our season went, I thought it was, you know, really refreshing and good to hear from somebody like Holton.
Yeah, I mean, they were up and honest about the quarterback play last year with Mason Garcia. Alex Flynn was Mason Garcia, not developed right. They were up front and honest. I mean, and, you know, having Holton Ahlers on Pirate Radio Live and promoting this show coming up, he said that he was not going to sugarcoat anything and that he was going to be completely honest and, you know, give his honest opinion on certain things. And, I mean, he kept his promise, at least for today's show, because they were very honest about the ECU football season that was this past year, the 2-10 season, and what went wrong. So they went around the horn and talked about maybe their thoughts on what went wrong with ECU's terrible season this past year, and talked about some guys coming in. They talked about Caden Hauser and what he's going to bring to the table at quarterback for ECU this upcoming season. So a great first show for Holton Ahlers and the walk-ons. The Holton Ahlers Show now on Pirate Radio Live. You'll be able to hear that at 6 o'clock tonight, right, Shirley Rhodes? 6 o'clock tonight and 6 o'clock tomorrow night. So, by the way, we have another interview with Clip Brock, and this time he's going to be talking to the host of the Holton Ahlers Show, and that is Holton Ahlers, and this is how it sounded.
All right, let's head out to the Pirate Radio Live line. Joining us, former Pirate QB, host of the Holton Ahlers Show, which you can hear on YouTube, where you get your podcast and these airwaves. Holton Ahlers joining us. Holton, how you doing, man?
Clip, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm great. Today's the big day. The Holton Ahlers Show dropped. It is live now. Check it out. YouTube, Pirate Radio TV, also where you get your podcast, and we'll have it on our airwaves coming up at 6 o'clock. And exciting day. Holt, how you feel?
I'm pumped, man. It's been a long time coming. It seems like we literally did talk about it for months and prepare for it for months and kind of make sure everything was ready to go. You know, we had the idea for a while now, but we wanted to make sure everything was perfect before we went live with it. We feel like it's ready to go. So, yeah, just go check it out. If you're listening to this, go check it out. And like Clip just said, on multiple airways, and let us know what you think.
I heard some, not all of it, Holton. Really enjoyed the kind of quarterback breakdown of the 2023 ECU Pirates, and we talked about you giving your unfiltered, honest opinions, and appreciate that honesty, and I think a great breakdown. And if fans of the team want to hear Holton's thoughts on what happened with the QB position, you got into that pretty good on today's show.
Yeah, I did. You know, that's part of the show is, you know, I'm going to be 100% myself, and look, I'm not going to dog anyone. I've been through that myself, so I mean, I didn't attack anyone like that, but I am going to give my honest opinion as a fan now and as a football alumni, ECU alumni. I mean, I'm going to be 100% truthful, and so are the walk-ons. I mean, I think that's what's going to make the show fun and interesting.
Yeah, and it's a fine line, but it's really not that fine. It's a clear line that sometimes guys will throw interceptions, but it doesn't mean they're a bad person. Like because I still see the vitriol online, like with Scotty Montgomery, for example. He didn't win a lot of games here, but he's not the scum of the earth. And a lot of sports fans sometimes have trouble kind of drawing that line, Holt, from the actual person to the guy we see on the field.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, hey, I've experienced it myself.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to be the media guy that does that. But at the same time, I mean, if you're a quarterback and you throw an interception, I mean, you're going to get criticized for it. You're going to get picked apart for it. But I was in their shoes too, so I mean, I know how it feels. So I'm going to be fair. I'm going to be completely honest on my feelings of it. Obviously, I know a lot about football, so I can watch and see plays and what was supposed to happen and all that, which brings a different dynamic to the show as well.
Holton, let me ask you about Caden Norman. First of all, I didn't realize all the accolades he received in high school. So check out the Holton Ahlers show to get the full quarterback resume of Caden Norman. We talked about it a little bit when he joined us on Monday, his playing days at Cleveland. But, man, Caden said he had Washington a future. He had him plus the points. He moved the line to get them -2. So how's he feeling right now?
Not good. We're lucky we didn't air that practice episode because it convinced all of the rest of us to go with Washington. We're riding high. Or during our betting segment at the end of each show, we do that. But yeah, he was rolling on Washington. He called it all year. He predicted them to get to the national championship, which he hit on. And then he was, I think he was feeling a little too high and convinced us to feel right there with him. So we all went Washington, and it didn't go well.
And, man, really showed how good Michigan is, Holt, because Michael Penix just has not been held down like that at any point this year. In fact, last time we spoke, you were talking about how impressed you were of Penix when they took on Texas and beat Texas in the playoff. But, man, what a performance by the Michigan defense. And we knew about the running game, the O-line. They were able to control it just like they did pretty much every game this year.
Yeah, I mean, they completely dominated. They made him look like a different player than he was because, I mean, I hadn't seen too much of his film this year, but I did watch the Texas game, and I thought it was one of the better quarterback performances, in the playoff history. I was very impressed with him, thought he could move himself up the draft boards, and then you go out in the national championship, and he looks nothing like he did in the semifinals, and that is a lot to do with the Michigan defense and the Washington O-line, which, Washington's O-line won the best offensive line of the year award, so you thought it would be a better of a matchup, but I mean, Michigan completely dominated that.
And now, Holton, we move on to the 12-team playoff, at least for a couple of years. And I know you're hating you're missing out on that part of playing at ECU because for the first time, teams like East Carolina will have a legitimate shot. And sure, you could have pulled a Cincinnati and go undefeated for a couple of years in a row and make it to a playoff, but that is few and far between. In fact, it only happened that one time. So now teams get somewhat of a better playing field with a chance to make it to a playoff, and that's exciting for schools like East Carolina. Mike Houston can go into next season saying, hey guys, our goal is to win a national championship this year, and he can actually mean that.
100%. I mean, hey, I think we get into this on the show a little bit, but I think there was talk about all this conference realignment and ECU fans wanting to get in that, but if I'm an ECU fan, which I am, I'm perfectly fine with us being exactly where we are. Don't go to the Big 12 in a harder conference. Win the American, get an automatic bid into the playoff. And let's be honest, football runs everything. Football revenue runs everything around here. Would you rather go 12-1 and make the playoff in the American, or would you rather go 6-6 in the Big 12? And I think any ECU fan would say, let's stay in the American, win that, and make it to the playoff.
Yeah, it is a scenario that could happen that is within the realm of possibility, and certainly a goal to shoot for. Holton Ahlers joining us. Holton Ahlers Show is available for you to download where you get your podcasts. Available on YouTube. We'll air it here tonight at 6 on Pirate Radio. Holton joining us. Holton, you are a lot younger than me, obviously, but you still know the legendary status, and you've lived your entire life watching Nick Saban, Bill Belichick, to a bit of a lesser degree, Pete Carroll. How about the Wednesday in sports with just iconic names stepping down?
Wild. It was wild. We were actually shooting when the news of Nick Saban broke, so it was pretty cool to be able to talk about that live and get our reaction on the show. But yeah, being able to, 3 legendary coaches, and me being able to play for Pete in his last year was pretty cool to, stay down the road. I mean, he's a legendary coach. Bill Belichick looks like he's still going to stay into coaching, but done with the Patriots and that dynasty. And then Nick Saban, obviously. I mean, that's, they were all getting older, but I don't think you expected really any of them other than Belichick maybe to move on. So all the news and then all in really the same 24-hour span was pretty wild.
The Pete Carroll thing, I mean, he's obviously won a whole lot. The thing that gets me about him, 72 years old, and the energy he shows. And Holton, there's no way that's just like on game day for the camera. He's always like that, right?
Oh, he's always juiced up. Team meetings during OTAs when no one wants to be there. I mean, he's always juiced up. He's fun. He was definitely one of the funner coaches I've been around, if not the funnest.
That's awesome. Holton Ahlers joining us, and Holton will be around. In fact, a great coach in Bob Stoops with the UFL. We'll talk about that before we wrap up this conversation. Holton, real quick, let's go through the playoff matchups just from a quarterback perspective, and I'll get your thoughts on the QB matchups and who you think takes it. We'll start Saturday, 4:30. You can hear all these games right here on Pirate Radio. Biggest age gap of a game, Holt. You got 38-year-old Joe Flacco, 22-year-old C.J. Stroud. Are you going with the young or the old QB in this game?
Yeah, so I also say this on the show. I think Browns are a sleeper Super Bowl pick. I think Flacco's playing as good as he's played even in his younger years. That defense is really, really good. And as much as Stroud's balling right now, not having Tank Dell's going to hurt him in the playoffs versus that Browns defense. And look, I mean, every 4 or 5 years, there's a random quarterback that rides the coattails of a good defense and wins a Super Bowl. And Flacco has literally done that before in his career. Not saying he's a random quarterback, but I mean, you get what I'm saying there. And, I think they're a sleeper pick to run all the way.
Holton, Saturday night, you've got 2 offenses that I'm sure you'd love to play in, Miami and Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes, the better, more established quarterback. Tua's got all those weapons. Fellow lefty as well. I know you got a soft spot in your heart for the lefties. What do you think about that matchup in KC?
Yeah, it's supposed to be a lot of snow in Kansas City, and everyone's saying that the Dolphins don't have a chance and all that, but I'm actually taking the Dolphins. I'm taking Tyreek Hill going up there and breaking up the Kelsey Swift train early in the playoffs. So I got the Dolphins there.
Steelers go into the playoffs with a backup, 3rd string, 4th string, whatever they're on with Mason Rudolph and Josh Allen trying to finally put it all together for the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen is fun to watch in a good and bad way, Holt. He will make some spectacular plays. Love when he's running the football, the plays he can make. He can also throw you an interception, fumble the ball quick. So he is a roller coaster to watch. What do you think about Allen overall, and do you think the Bills cruise in this one?
I think the Bills walk away with this one. Josh Allen himself, I think he's extremely talented, but these last couple games, he's kind of had that Jameis Winston effect of each play is going to be exciting. People know how exciting it's going to be. But yeah, I got the Bills in this one. The quarterback situation with the Steelers is kind of weird right now, so I'm taking the Bills.
4:30 Sunday. Dak was the guy looking like Jameis and Josh Allen last year, throwing interceptions. This year, just throwing TDs to CD Lamb. Great year for Dak Prescott. Jordan Love proving his worth and really coming on late here, Holt, and could be a sign of the future for what the Packers have there. Cowboys big favorites, though. You think Dak and company take it at home?
Yeah, I got the Cowboys in this one. I think Jordan Love goes and plays well. I mean, this is his moment. He won the rivalry game to get in versus the Bears, which is, kind of weird to say, but that is. They had to win to get in, and he did that, and he's been playing really well lately. So I think the Packers cover, but I got the Cowboys winning.
And then, man, if you could watch one, it might be Chiefs-Dolphins, but this is a close second. This should be a really fun one coming up on a Sunday night. Rams-Lions. Holton, do you think... I mean, Stafford's such an established vet. He's won a Super Bowl. Goff's been in it a while now. Is there any kind of extra oomph to this, being that they're playing against their former teams, or you think they can treat this as just another game? As a quarterback, what's going through their minds right now?
Oh, there's definitely some extra motivation. I mean, realistically, people are looking at it. Fans are going to look at it. The front office is going to look at it. Who won the trade? Who won the quarterback trade there? And obviously, they're both in the same position now. So who can go out there, lead the team in the playoffs? I got the Lions in this one. I think it's the Lions' year to make a run at this thing. They finally flipped it. Dan Campbell obviously is awesome, and I believe in their culture and that they're going to win this one.
Man, do you ever think you live in a world where you say, I like the Browns and the Lions in the playoffs, Holton? It's a crazy year, right?
No.
And finally, Monday night, Eagles, Bucks. Jalen Hurts has been really good in his young career, but I don't know if it's injuries. I don't know what's going on in Philly. They look really shaky right now. And, man, I did not have Baker Mayfield starting a home playoff game in 2024, but here we are. What do you think about that one?
Yeah, I mean, Eagles are 1-5 in their last 6 games, so obviously not playing too hot right now. Playing in Tampa, but I still think the Eagles got the best O-line and the best D-line, if not top 5 in the league, so I'm still going to take the Eagles.
Holton Ahlers joining us. Holton, tell us again when you start your duties for the Arlington Renegades. What's your schedule like?
Yeah, so I move out there February 23rd. Camp starts the 24th, and we kind of get going from there, and our first game's March 30th.
And the show goes on, right? No matter if you're playing, practicing, whatever, Holton Ahlers show rolls on.
Oh, it rolls on. We have the technology to do it. It'll be even better. I mean, it'll honestly be like a little, update on my life each week. I get to say kind of what this new league's going to be about, and it'll be a little bit of behind the scenes of that. Catch the walk-ons, Holton Ahlers, on episode 1. Coming up next week, episode 2, HV3. Harold Varner III going to join you, right? Yep, got HV3 coming, and we got some even more big guests planned for episode 3, 4, and 5. So stay tuned. Make sure you have your alerts on, and we look forward to it.
Oh, congrats. Great job, man. Looking forward to hearing the show and watching you guys grow in that realm. And appreciate you joining us today. We'll catch up with you again soon, man.
Appreciate it, Clip. See you.
All right, there's Holton Ahlers of the Holton Ahlers Show. You can catch him in the walk-ons tonight at 6 o'clock right here on Pirate Radio, and tomorrow night at 6 o'clock right here on Pirate Radio. Let's take a time out. When we return, we'll talk Wild Card Weekend and gambling with the big man on campus, Jeff Nadeau. So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. We'll be right back right after this.
15-time best-selling author, keynote speaker, and global influencer John Gordon is coming to Greenville in March. John was ranked number 6 as one of the top leadership speakers in the world and will be our featured guest at the Pirate Radio Luncheon on Monday, March 18th. Hey, John, tell us more about your upcoming visit.
Hey, Pirate Nation. John Gordon here. I am so excited about coming to Greenville, North Carolina and East Carolina University March 18th, where I'm going to talk about ways to enhance your mindset, improve your leadership, and build a stronger team. We're going to activate the positive competitive advantage together. I hope to see you there. Go Pirates.
Don't miss out on this huge opportunity to enhance your mindset, improve your leadership skills, and create a better future for you and your team. To reserve a table, contact me, Jonathan Ellerby, at ellerby@pirateradio1250.com. We look forward to seeing you in March.
Right now, new and current customers can get any phone for free at US Cellular, so you can connect with all your family members this holiday season. You could even call your aunt, who always makes you talk to your cousin, who's a dog. Or, maybe just send her a festive text. Get the gift of connection at US Cellular. Get any phone free today. US Cellular, built for us. Terms apply. Visit uscellular.com for details.
This is Brandon Tate, owner and operator of Atlantic Wireless, an authorized agent for US Cellular since 1997. Visit atlanticwireless.com to find the store near you. We go beyond the call.
This is Dr. McGraw from Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center. Our practice has been caring for the athletes at ECU and the residents of Eastern North Carolina for more than 35 years. Whether it's treatment for your sports injury or it's time for that joint replacement, Orthopedics East provides the latest in operative and non-operative orthopedic care. We also offer on-site physical therapy and MRI services, as well as walk-in urgent care on the weekends from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. For experienced and professional care, call us at 757-BONE or visit us online at orthoeast.com. Go Pirates.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Russell from Russell's Clothing in downtown Washington. Russell's has a long history of dressing Pirate fans, both men and women. For the men, we offer both logoed and non-logoed from Peter Millar, Johnny O, and Smathers and Branson. Our ladies love Tyler Bowe, Crosby, and Never a Wallflower for game day. Join us in wishing the Pirates a healthy and successful season. And remember, for all your game day needs, shop Russell's in downtown Washington.
Go Pirates! Pizza, subs, slice, ice.
Jenny, what are you doing?
Just letting the Pirate Nation know that Cuccinella's has 2 locations. One in downtown Greenville across from Sub Dogs, and now in Midtown Greenville beside Best Buy. Did you know Cucinalla's is open every day with $6 lunch specials, slices all day, beer, wine, and their famous homemade gelato? Cucinalla's in downtown Greenville, and now their new location next to Best Buy. Go Pirates!
Before anyone walks into your business, the outside is what they see. Make sure your first impression is a good impression with the right curb appeal. Hi, this is Daniel Andrews from Dan Andrews Lawn Service. We specialize in making your business look great. Let us handle all your professional landscaping needs. We do it all so you don't ever have to worry. Residential services are also available. Call us today at 717-8006 and we'll come out and give you a free quote. Taking care of your landscaping needs is all we do, and we've been doing it for over 20 years. You can trust our reliable team at Dan Andrews Lawn Service, covering all of Eastern North Carolina.
The convenience of Pitt Greenville Airport is waiting just outside your front door. Service is back, so you're connected to destinations worldwide through flights from American Airlines. Plan your next trip. Book your flights today at flypgv.com or aa.com.
Good news, business travelers. PGV and American Airlines has added a new early morning flight available now. Book today at aa.com and be on time for that connection in Charlotte. Fast, convenient, and close to home, PGV has American flights perfect for your next trip. PGV, where the Pirates fly.
This is CJ Mayhew, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
Clip Brock about what his thoughts are on this weekend's matchups, and here is that conversation now.
All right, let's head out to the Pirate Radio Live line. Joining us, big man on campus, Jeff Nadeau, to talk some college hoops. Jeff, how you doing today, man?
Pretty good. How are you, Clip?
Good, and Happy New Year to you as well. First time I've talked to you in 2024. Let's start with the Pirates, Jeff, and maybe not as impressive to you because you kind of know what's going on up there with Temple basketball. They don't appear to be having a great season, but Pirates going on the road, winning at Temple for the first time since joining the AAC. That's 2 wins in a row for East Carolina. Again, something for us to be excited about. In the grand scheme of things, though, Jeff, would you say they beat a pretty bad to mid basketball team last night?
I would say they did, yeah. I mean, this is not a good Temple team. Not a very talented roster. It's definitely not. Look, the state of Temple basketball is a far cry from where it once was. Even recently, 10 years ago, this was still a decent program. This is a program that just has no more juice. They haven't hired particularly well. And the Aaron McKee whole situation went ajar. Yeah, I mean, look, going on the road and winning it is never easy, but going to Temple right now is not particularly a strong win, but they'll take it.
Pirates will play a better opponent coming up at home Saturday, SMU. Jeff, what can you tell us about the Mustangs this year?
Well, SMU is an elite defensive team. They're very talented at the guard position under Rob Lanier, who was at Georgia State. They're really great at every level. If you can't score really at any level, you're going to have a lot of trouble. I'm not saying that ECU can't do it, but you're going to have to figure that you're going to play a lot of games in the low to mid-60s. SMU is a real solid team, and I think they're a group that I think long-term in this conference are going to be the groups that can knock off a Memphis or a Florida Atlantic. Very well-coached team, especially going there. That's a tough game. Moody Coliseum's a real tough place to play. I'd have to figure that SMU will probably be a 7-8 point favorite in this game, and I'd have to assume they win by double digits.
The game is here, Jeff. Are you saying the game in Minji's a 7?
Sorry. Yeah, I was looking at the wrong thing. Yeah, I would think in
So what does that put it at, about 4 or 5 here? SMU, what do you think?
No, I would say probably, as I'm looking at it over, my apologies. Yeah, I would say at home it's probably 10.5. At ECU it's probably 6.
Okay.
So yeah, I would still lean on SMU regardless. This is a really difficult team. I mean, they're going to force you into the half court and just kind of grind you down, and they're going to be a tough outing. I mean, look at what they did to Memphis. Memphis is a great offensive team. So yeah, they're really good, SMU.
Yeah, Memphis putting up 100+ last night in an overtime win over UTSA. What a week it's been in college basketball, Jeff. And I had a lock of the year that I gave out Tuesday, and that was Rutgers minus the points against Indiana. And I don't know anything really about Rutgers basketball. All I know about Indiana is that I had them on Saturday night at home against Ohio State. But my thought was, it's just a spot. It's Indiana coming off a home win, feeling pretty good about themselves, going on the road, long road trip to New Jersey, taking on the Scarlet Knights, and I just like Rutgers at home in that situation. And you can find these spots each and every night across college basketball. It doesn't always work out, Jeff, but look, a lot of times you're going to see these home teams, especially home underdogs, home slight favorites, win these games.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you just long-term bet home teams for the most part, you'll do quite well. I actually had the under in that game. That was my premium play on Monday night or Tuesday night, whenever that was. And that was a great bet by you. I mean, they completely have owned Indiana. Indiana just can't score. I mean, they're not very good. Trey Saxon Davis is a memory for that group, and they're really low basketball IQ, and running into Rutgers is never easy. It's a great call. But, yeah, I think if you long-term just bet home teams, I mean, you look at the fact of Baylor won that night. Iowa State won that night. You look at last night, Mississippi State won at home. TCU won at home. There's a lot of home. I mean, Xavier was very live at home. Mississippi rolled Florida. They were at home. So, yeah, I think long-term, if you just bet home teams, you will win long-term in college basketball. Absolutely.
And it's such a grind, a long season. Nothing's truly, I guess, that shocking. But what surprised you the most this week so far, Jeff? Is it Purdue going down, Houston losing for the first time, Kansas last night against UCF, Tennessee? You mentioned Mississippi State beating them. That's 4 out of the 5 top 5 teams. I think UConn was able to survive on the road, right, against Xavier. Yeah, they won 80-75. 4 out of the top 5 losing in the last 2 nights. Any of those shock you?
I mean, I think they all shock me, but in the long term, I mean, you're not going to win every game. We don't have any undefeated teams, and we weren't going to have any undefeated teams. I'm not real worried about an early conference loss, but I think the growing sentiment around college hoops, this has happened in college football as well, is due to new transfer rules, due to the NIL, it's an open world now in these sports. I mean, could you identify the best team in the country? I think every group has flaws. I think it's going to be every year a very fun tournament because you have some really good teams like Houston, Arizona, Purdue. But like when you really look at it, I think Auburn's the top 5 team in America. I think they're that good. That they're a team just kind of out of nowhere. So I think, it doesn't surprise me per se. You're going to have teams that are going to lose. You're going to have injuries. You're going to have tough road spots. And look, I've told you over the years, Cliff, my favorite time to bet sports is college basketball conference season because you can identify just great spots. Last night, I love Mississippi State. It was a great spot, and it ended up being an easy winner. So, yeah, I think long-term, you got to bet home teams, and you're going to have a lot of parity.
Coming up tonight, Buccaneer Music Hall Scoreboard, presented by DeBuck. You got Maryland hosting Michigan in Big Ten play. FAU, who lost to Charlotte. FAU clinging to a top 25 spot right now on the road at Tulane, which, it looks like a tough game, but you got to think FAU is woken up here to what the AAC is compared to maybe the league they were in. UCLA at Utah. Boy, the Bruins have really struggled this year. Michigan State at Illinois. Gonzaga's at Santa Clara. Arizona State at Washington, just to name a few. Anything, Jeff, you got your eye on tonight?
Yeah, and Cliff, I do have a question for you before we go. I want to ask you something. But as far as tonight, I mean, I didn't love the card. The only game I was really that in tuned on was I like Maryland. I think they beat up Michigan. Michigan has 0-2 to start the season, I believe, in the Big Ten. Lost to Minnesota, lost to Penn State. Now they got to go on the road without their lead point guard, Doug McDaniel, who is suspended for the next 6 road games. Kind of weird, but he's suspended. This is a group that has no bench. They're 361st out of 362 in bench minutes. They just don't have anybody to come in and play point guard. And I think this is going to be a complete disaster for them on the road at Maryland, who is in their own right pretty desperate. They've started 0-2 or 0-3 in the conference. So I think for them, this is a great spot at home. This number's been bet up from 4.5 all the way to 6. I think we see a double-digit Maryland victory. Michigan could have a lot of trouble. They're already a pretty bad defensive team. It's not going to get easier. Now you don't have your point guard. So it's going to be a mess tonight for Michigan.
And they do want to talk a little wild card playoffs with you before we let you go. You can hear the games right here on Pirate Radio Saturday, Sunday, and Eagles Bucks Monday night. Before we go, down the whole card or whatever, anything you are looking at in particular for the games this weekend?
Well, I think for me, I think the Rams surely have what it takes to knock off the Detroit Lions. Something tells me the Lions just aren't ready to compete at the playoff level. Look, I think it's great that they've gotten there, but we've seen them in various games this year when they step up and play a real team, i.e. the Ravens. They got their teeth caved in. I think the Rams are legit. I'm very happy, and I feel vindicated that they made the playoffs because I said before the season, I thought this roster was pretty good. I didn't think they were a bottom-tier NFC West team. And you look at it, they've been very good. I think you make the case they're a significantly better defense. This is a Lions defense, particularly through the air, that can't stop anybody. If you're going to give me 3, I'll gladly side with the L.A. Rams. And listen, I'm going to say it, and I'll say it again. I'm hearing some really brutal things coming out of Kansas City that the weather could be just disastrous. And I'm talking about like 20, 30 below zero. I just don't want to bet on the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Sorry. I mean, I'm not interested. I think you better get in now on this one and maybe lean on Kansas City. I don't like them as a favorite generally, but I also like the under. I think this is a brutal game. First to 20 wins. I think both offenses are, really hamstrung. And I think you have 2 better defenses than most people think.
Can I talk to Nadeau, the Eagles fan, for a moment? And one good thing, I guess, in Philly's corner is everybody's starting to doubt them and talk about how bad they are and how much they stink. The bad news is that all might be true, Jeff. They are road favorites Monday night. So not even from a gambling standpoint, or you can throw that in if you want, but as a fan of the team, how do you feel about the playoffs beginning?
Listen, as I get older, I couldn't care less, more or less. But I think as a long look, I've rooted for the Eagles since I was a kid. I think it's pathetic. I mean, if we're being honest, and I'll tell you right now, as Matt Patricia leading this defense, I don't know how they go on the road and win. I mean, I think they'll probably find a way just because it is Tampa, and look, they dominated Tampa early in the season, but I don't have any reason to believe that Mike Evans is going to run wild all over this defense. It's hard for this group to just win a game right now. It was one of the reasons I bet against them last week. It's one of the reasons I'll probably just avoid them this week. Look, do I think they probably win? Yeah, but I think it's just you're delaying the inevitable. I think it's important that in the offseason they make some strong changes. And I'm talking about firing Sirianni, Patricia, it will be gone. And I think Brian Johnson's going to take another job. I think you have to give strong thought to Bill Belichick. I really do. I think they need someone to come in here and I think make a big change. They need real coordinators. I'm not talking about these goofy guys they bring in off the street that can't perform. They need legit coordinators, legit options. I think you got to try to make something like that happen. They need to move on.
Figured I'd get a little decent Philly rant from Nadeau here on this Thursday. Jeff, I want to ask you this too. I haven't looked at gambling odds as far as the national championship, college football playoff for next season. But just kind of a general question with Alabama. Look, I'm old enough to remember when Alabama wasn't good and wasn't dominant before Nick Saban. You're younger than me a little bit, but I'm sure you remember that they haven't always been this juggernaut. A question is, and it does depend on who they bring in and everything, but do you think the tide just continues to roll, or do they get their comeuppance a little bit without Nick Saban moving forward? Any thoughts on that?
I think it's really remaining to be seen. Look, obviously you're going to see a lot of recruits kind of run to the hills, if you will. But I guess you have to ask yourself, I mean, it all depends on who they bring in. Look, I don't think they're going to become bad or anything. But no, I think most of the time you just re-up, get a new coach. It's not like they're going to hire some random guy. And most of the recruits that are, let's say, with a Mike Norvell, they're going to jump ship and run to wherever he goes. I think the strong name would probably be Lane Kiffin. Again, I've said before, I don't think Lane Kiffin is as good as people say he is. The guy can recruit, though, and I think we'll get a lot of those guys to come with him. I think another interesting name would be DeBoer up at Washington. He's an elite coach. That might be a real option. He's 25-3 over 2 seasons. We saw him, obviously, in the national title game, but I think they may have wanted Dan Lanning, but that ain't going to happen. So, no, I think they'll be quite fine. It's not going to be a worry. They'll be just fine.
Good stuff today with Jeff Nadeau. Sit Down podcast available to download. Follow him on Twitter at Jeff Nadu. Jeff, you said you had a question for me before we get out of here.
I got to ask, what is the Buck? What is that?
The Buccaneer Music Hall. You can hear live music. Great place to watch games on a Sunday. They do a jersey giveaway every NFL Sunday. Karaoke, great beers. It's called the Buccaneer Music Hall, Jeff. It's a bar. It's a place to go watch live music, and great place to watch sports. A little bit of everything.
The reason I asked that is where I'm from, where I live now, we have kind of an interesting city because I live in the city part, but as many people know, it's a pretty big county, and we have obviously a lot of Amish here and that sort of thing in the county area. And there's a place in the southern end of the county called the Buck as well. And it's like this. I'm just gonna. I don't know what I can say. It's a very country place, like where like they do like tractor pools and like.
Sound like you were gonna say redneck and pulled back.
Yeah, I want to say. It's very like redneck.
Yeah. Okay.
Demolition derbies, that sort of thing, and like I don't go to places like that, but I just, whenever I hear the Buck, I always think because they have these like goofy commercials where they're like, "Come to the Buck."
We might use that and put it in a commercial and throw you a few bones. Good stuff. Hey, Nadeau, good to talk with you, man. Thanks for joining us, and we'll catch up with you again soon.
Appreciate it. See you, Cliff.
The big man on campus, Jeff Nadeau, joining us here on Pirate Radio Live. And yes, Daddy's home.
Welcome back.
Hey, John. Hey, Shirley.
Buccaneer Music Hall is your beacon of music in the land of pirates in eastern North Carolina. Open 7 days a week with live music, Monday through Wednesday, acoustic night. Thursday, we have line dancing from 7 to 9, followed by karaoke with DJ Dog. On Friday and Saturday night, enjoy the best local bands in the area. And don't forget, Sunday Fun Day during football season with NFL jersey giveaways and more. Check out Facebook and Instagram for all up-to-date information and band schedules. Y'all come get bucked up.
The arrival of a new year offers many the hope for a fresh beginning that presents exciting opportunities for a rewarding future. Pitt County Schools encourages you to become engaged with an award-winning school system that is centered around educational and leadership advantages because we are hiring. If you are looking for a great place to work that offers competitive pay, advancement opportunities, and personal growth, we invite you to join our team to help ensure success for the posterity of Eastern North Carolina. To fill out an application, please visit our website today at pittschools.org. That's pittschools.org. Help us grow minds and invest in our future through 38 schools and one community, as education is truly a team effort. Pitt County Schools, where we engage, empower, and elevate.
Do you want to get rid of wrinkles, tighten and lift your skin, smooth your skin texture, erase veins and brown spots, get rid of unwanted hair and under-eye fat pads? Are you interested in Botox or filler? Contact the licensed professionals at Beauty Bar Medispa for a free consultation and ask about our newest technologies and treatments. Learn more at beautybarmedispa.com, Red Banks Road, Greenville. Enjoy your visit, love your transformation, and go Pirates!
When you walk through the doors of Villa Verde, you'll experience the sights, sounds, and smells of authentic Dominican flavors. This is Jay from Villa Verde, inviting you to come by and try one of our amazing empanadas, our famous red snappers, grouper bites, seafood paella, Cuban sandwiches, and much, much more. Relax on the patio with a fresh mojito or a cold beer while enjoying one of our out-of-this-world desserts, like our rum pineapple cake or our famous tres leches. Villa Verde on 10th Street, a platform for good, and a proud supporter of the Pirate Nation.
This is Talbot Green with Integrity Home Mortgage. Are you ready and pre-approved if the home you want to purchase comes for sale today? This is a very important step when trying to purchase a home in the current market. Integrity Home Mortgage offers a wide variety of loan programs. Our team of Talbot Green, Braxton Green, and Joanne Weir has over 50 years of experience and is committed to providing you with the superior customer service you deserve.
To get started, call me, Braxton Green, at 526-8260.
Braxton Green, NMLS 222-3878. For informational purposes only, Integrity Home Mortgage Corporation is an equal housing lender, NMLS 208516.
There's a common misbelief today that to make it further, you need to push yourself, that you need to give up any joy to continue your rigid routine. Or you could try another way. Take some time to enjoy life, like having a Michelob Ultra with friends, because happiness is essential to living an exceptional life. Michelob Ultra, a refreshing and balanced flavor with only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Michelob Ultra, proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989.
It's here, Pirate Nation. The Holton Ahlers Show is now available every week right here on Pirate Radio. Subscribe to Pirate Radio TV on YouTube to watch the show, or find the Holton Ahlers Show on the Pirate Radio podcast channel to download and listen. Stories, big name guests, what I'm up to that week, plus plenty of laughs and opinions with my best friends known as the Walk-Ons. Subscribe today to watch and listen to the Holton Ahlers Show right here on Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
There's local politics, bud.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Beauty Bar Medispa. Do you want to get rid of wrinkles, tighten and lift your skin, smooth your skin texture, erase veins and brown spots, and get rid of unwanted hair? Are you interested in Botox or filler? Visit beautybarmedispa.com to set up a free consultation. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Hey, Pirate fans, did you know there's thousands of special needs children and adults right here in our community that love ECU athletics as much as you do? Robbie's Clubhouse is a local nonprofit organization that can turn your unused ECU tickets into a fun day for a family with special needs. If you can't make it to the next Pirate game, simply call 1-800-DIAL-ECU and donate and designate your tickets for Robbie's Clubhouse. If you know of a family that needs tickets to a game, call Robbie's Clubhouse at 252-916-9117. Now let's head back in to PRL. Here's Clip.
All right, one of the greatest rock songs in the history of music. Shirley Rhodes, A-Harp, Sean.
I'm here, baby.
Man, wish I could have been here to start the show to talk about what you talked about, which was last night's ECU basketball victory.
We'll talk about it.
What
do you think about that? Pirates get a win on the road for the first time.
I honestly was shocked. And as we were watching that game last night, Sports Trivia, like, it was more mouth agape in surprise at the score.
Jaw on the floor.
I was floor jawing. And just wait, like the Pirates turned it over up 10, and then dude came down for Temple, hit a 3. I was like, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I hate that that's my mindset watching these games, but you can't really blame me, right? I mean, I think every Pirate fan's got some of that.
Well, it's happened so many times. I don't blame you for thinking that way.
But these guys, we not no punks. Went into Philly, got the win, kind of cruised. Dare I say? Just an easy rocking chair win.
Do you know how many? You might know, but do you know how many bench points we had last night?
Mary knows, because I said, Mary, do you know how much bench points we had? And she said, I was listening to Pirate Radio Live, and Sean, the host, said 4.
4 points off the bench from Caleb LeCount. Both of his points came from the free throw line, and then Jaden Gardner came back and played,
and only had 2 points.
And got 2 points off the bench.
How about that?
Jaden Walker with the other 2 points.
What is you keep bringing that up?
I just think that's crazy.
Speak on it.
I mean, that just shows you that how much the starters help. Guess who was not in the stat sheet? A guy that we like.
Sear
Malanga.
Yeah.
No minutes for him.
We got to sear it up, man.
RJ with a good game last night, leading the way with 20 points.
20 for the slick-headed RJ Felton.
He didn't get to the 27 that we talked about yesterday in that Providence.
That was Ezra.
That's
okay. I see where you're going. I'm sorry. My bad.
He didn't get to the 27, but he did have 18 last night. Here's the stat to consider. 6 times at the line, 6 free throws made.
6 beauties. C. Fornell says Pirate fans in the crowd were louder than the Owls. So
I noticed the crowd was not good.
We did not have the volume up on the TVs at AJ's during Sports Trivia, so I never heard the crowd. But we could definitely see that it was not a big crowd there in Philly. Jamie said, but Clip, Nadeau said it wasn't impressive. Temple sucks. I didn't agree. I mean, yeah, you're a grown man, right? Mm-hmm. You can believe and think what you want to think. Just like he can. Just like I can. Just like we all can. And I saw you earlier say something about Nadeau's never said anything positive about ECU. There was a tweet earlier in the year, and I almost texted him and said, Nadeau, you're being too positive about ECU basketball. He said, October 31st, happy Halloween. He says, a team I really think improves this season in college basketball is East Carolina. Really like Mike Schwartz with a bunch back, as well as bringing in LSU transfer Cam Hayes. I think they take a major step forward.
That's very nice of you.
He was nice to say that, and then saw him lose to USC Upstate and Northeastern, and probably wasn't so nice.
East Tennessee State, and was like, man.
Yeah. So, yeah. Are we good now, Jamie? Jamie, what's your deal today? What's wrong, man? Talk about it.
He's getting his feelings hurt, too.
Yeah. Is everything okay? Is there anything we can talk about with you? Colts missed the playoffs. So close. Indiana lost.
All right. So
earlier this week.
Jamie said repost a tweet. See, that's weird.
Repost a tweet. All I just did was go to Twitter, search Jeff Nadu, and Cam Hayes. That I put that in the search box because I remembered that he mentioned him. You can do that.
But like liking somebody's post, even just from like 3 days ago, is weird to me. That was in October.
Yeah, it's weird. Weird behavior. Jack said Nadu liked us Holtons last year. Kenny said horrible crowd, and the guys calling the game were terrible. Yeah, I saw some Steve Schwartz reference last night. I guess
did they at least have his picture up there, and it was the right picture?
And was it the guy calling the game, Harry Donahue? Oh, we've had him on the show a million times, talking Temple over the years. Older gentleman, I like him, but might have had a rough one last night apparently. Steve Schwartz. Remember when Mike Schwartz called Jeff Charles the wrong name in his first interview with him?
Oh, yeah. Greg. Called him Greg.
Thanks, Greg.
Thanks, Greg.
And Jeff was like, well,
all right.
I guess I'm Greg Charles now. That was great.
Thank you, Greg.
Great respect to Greg.
Great respect, Greg.
We actually talked about that, not only with Jeff, but with Mike Schwartz, and had a laugh over it. All right, Chandler, what is your beef with Stephen A. Smith? Do you not like him? He's
loud. He's obnoxious. I feel like he thinks he knows way more than he does. I'm not a big fan of the guy.
Well, he apparently knows that. And did you hear what he had to say about you?
No, I didn't. I wish he would say it to my face.
Well, he's not going to say it to your face, but we do have it. Can we hear what Stephen A. Smith had to say about Chandler yesterday? I hope I bleeped it out properly.
Please do not allow this to be a reflection on my character, because this is not how I act every day. But I mean it from my soul when I say this is the worst human being I've ever known. Wow. I don't know of another human being worse. He is a piece of shit. He's the dude that's going to have a funeral and ain't going to be no pallbearers. Might be 2 people to show up. He's that dude.
I'll be there.
He is the absolute worst. And they begged me not to do this. But even my pastor, A.R. Bernard, said, I'm not happy about it. But every now and then we got to do what we got to do.
His pastor told him to roast you.
I promise you. And last to my sister Carmen, I won't do this again. I promise you. I know you cringing. You didn't want me to do this. I'm sorry, sis. It was necessary. He's a sorry, fat piece of
Wow, okay.
That's who he is. And I want to make sure everybody knows that. He is the worst human being any of you will ever meet. Man. You get within a mile of his presence. Wrap your arms around yourself to protect your soul.
What?
He is Cain. He is a devil. The worst. That's all I have to say. Y'all have a nice day. I'm going to go about my business.
All right.
To talk about a man dying and saying that there will be no pallbearers, and to say that there will be 2...
Oops, sorry. That was me.
It's
sorry.
Crazy.
I don't think he should have fat shamed you either.
I don't think he should have done any of what he just did.
He just called you Cain?
He called me the devil. He said, if you come within a mile of me,
hold on to your soul.
To wrap yourself up, to
watch
give yourself a hug, and protect yourself from that devil.
Shirley went to Fleet Feet, so her souls are all good.
They are comfortable.
What set him off? I only said that I didn't like him.
Well,
I just said
you did say he was obnoxious. You said he doesn't know as much as he thinks he does.
You know what?
I thought it was because he cursed on the air yesterday.
How many people in the world have said that about Stephen A. Smith? And he has to come at me and say that when I die, that nobody's going to be at my funeral? Well, maybe 2.
I'll be there.
But no, there's not going to be anyone to carry my casket to the graveside?
Me and your daddy will carry it.
Man.
If we can hold it up, you fat piece of...
I mean, I'm hurt. I've had people say some mean things to me. But that right there takes the cake.
That's it.
And it comes from Stephen A. Smith. Disgusting. I guess he thinks that he can say whatever he wants to because he was in that suite with Michael Jordan, Derek Jeter, Travis Scott at the national championship game. He was definitely the oddball in that group.
I love the fact that he said, sorry, sis.
Yeah, he apologized to his sister.
He asked his preacher.
His pastor.
His pastor told him he could say it.
The pastor.
Pastor, can I meet with you real quick? Amen. Praise God. I want to call this guy a fat piece of crap. Is that cool?
He said, go ahead.
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
He said,
go right ahead.
Deuteronomy 48:3.
I don't want to go to that church.
Says we could call people fat pieces of bleep. Eric said, if a pastor signed off on that, it must have been Joel Osteen.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Man.
That's, oh, my.
That was actually directed at Jason Whitlock. Why? I don't know. I don't care. I just thought that was really funny.
Wow.
I don't know how.
That was.
I'm going to say there are no winners in a Stephen A. Smith Whitlock debate.
Wrap your arms around yourself and protect your soul.
What I said about Stephen A. Smith, I actually do not mind Stephen A. Smith. He does get a little carried away when he yells and does all his whatever the bit is. But some of his best stuff is when it's calm and slow and delivered just like the way he just delivered that message to Jason Whitlock. Like, that was pretty good.
Or when he says Lamar Odom was on crack.
Lamar Odom, who was on crack? The first thing that Phil Jackson did as the president of the New York Knicks was to sign Lamar Odom, who was on crack.
Oh, man.
Gotta love it.
Funny stuff.
You told us not to listen to it.
Yeah. Shirley, you hadn't heard that, right?
No, that was the first I'd heard of it.
By the way, I was reacting to it as he went along.
I was like, wow.
I think he went like 25 or 30 minutes. I had to edit it down to...
like a minute and a half.
Yeah.
And even then, I was like, good Lord. Wait, he went... In actuality, he went like 25, 30 minutes?
So I guess he has his own show apart from me.
Oh, okay,
I don't know.
okay.
I don't follow Stephen
But
A.
he
Smith.
went that long in a rant about Jason Whitlock.
I think he was talking about why they had a beef and going in.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not going to dive into it. I don't care about either one of them.
You can Google it up.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a long rant. And I
don't know if I want to spend that much time over someone that I dislike.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to rant.
But
you're going to get like maybe 5 minutes out of me and then I'm done.
This is show business. I bet.
Good point.
Just like politicians who talk about how awful each other, they all are. And then the cameras turn off and then they go eat dinner and hang out. And they're like, ha, 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 ha. That was fun. When I called you a moron and you called me an idiot and we got all these people riled up. That was cool. That was fun. I could see Stephen A. Smith and Whitlock doing the same thing.
Now, you mentioned show business. You want to know what the biggest show business is on television right now? And it's on ESPN. The Pat McAfee Show. As he welcomed back, just one day removed, saying that he will not have Aaron Rodgers on the show.
I saw that. I was having lunch and I was like, wait a minute, is this a replay?
That
or
is show business for you.
Man, that's just...
Which, by the way, I believe... You know what? I don't care. We'll move on.
I don't care either.
Yeah.
We need...
But I did find it interesting that, he announces that Rodgers is not coming back for the rest of the season as a guest, and then the very next day, i.e. today, he was back on.
Yeah. It's all just wacky. We need some wacky guests to come on and talk about wacky stuff to get some news going. What do you got?
Speaking of wacky guests, Bo Batts says, he texts me and says, I'll be at your funeral if snacks are served. He said, also, if I'm not already dead.
Bo would sneak.
Oh, Bobo. I knew he would be there.
Snacks into your casket.
Shirley will be at your funeral. Shirley, I got you some Tootsie Rolls. Here, take a few.
Yeah, here's a whole big bag of Tootsie Rolls.
I got Christmas tree cakes. Here's a coupon card.
Yeah, a coupon card. Hey, do you think I can sneak that into Chandler's casket too? Just make sure it gets in there. So he'll have it in the next life. He can have his coupon card and his candy.
Chandler, can we use your casket to stand up our batting cage?
Yep.
Can we borrow you for a minute?
You know, somebody brought up bow bats the other day. I went to the pregame meal for ECU basketball with our good friends Halftime Steve and Halftime Don, and they brought up bow bats. They said they knew bow bats.
Did you hear what Stephen A. Smith said about bow bats?
No.
Do we have that, Shirley? Hit it real quick.
Hold on.
This is what
He
Stephen.
didn't say anything bad about him, did he?
I don't think so.
About Bo?
Yeah.
I can't imagine anybody saying anything bad about Bo.
Please do not allow this to be a reflection on my character because this is not how I act every day.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I mean it from my soul when I say this is the worst human being I've ever known.
Cut this off. No way.
I don't know of another human.
What? Bo Bats?
Come on.
Guy's a saint. Take a break. When we return, I don't know what we're going to do. It is a free-form 4 o'clock hour. Fleet Feet Rundown sounds like a good idea. We will do that. We got Austin Knight coming up hour 3. We'll talk some Pirate baseball. More to go. Pirate Radio Live on a Thursday. Back with you after this.
Here with Jeff Stein at Brown & Wood. It's a great time to buy a used vehicle.
It's not a great time, it's a perfect time to buy a used car from Brown & Wood. We have over 115 used vehicles in stock, and we're number one in the market on price. We have limited lifetime powertrain on all of our used cars under 80,000 miles, so go to brownandwoodauto.com to find out more. 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 rooftops, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
15-time best-selling author, keynote speaker, and global influencer John Gordon is coming to Greenville in March. John was ranked number 6 as one of the top leadership speakers in the world and will be our featured guest at the Pirate Radio Luncheon on Monday, March 18th. Hey, John, tell us more about your upcoming visit.
Hey, Pirate Nation. John Gordon here. I am so excited about coming to Greenville, North Carolina and East Carolina University March 18th, where I'm going to talk about ways to enhance your mindset, improve your leadership, and build a stronger team. We're going to activate the positive competitive advantage together. I hope to see you there. Go Pirates.
Don't miss out on this huge opportunity to enhance your mindset, improve your leadership skills, and create a better future for you and your team. To reserve a table, contact me, Jonathan Ellerby, at ellerby@pirateradio1250.com. We look forward to seeing you in March.
Here at Papa John's, we know our stuff.
So try our newest cheesy calzone epic stuffed crust pizza. Made with a blend of ricotta and mozzarella, hand stuffed into that Papa John's fresh, never frozen original dough. Get it for a limited time only at Papa John's.
Hey, Pirate fans, Papa John's is the MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, better ingredients, better pizza. Go Pirate! UBE and PirateWear.com are proud to offer the Pirate Nation its largest inventory of ECU merchandise and tailgate supplies ever. UBE has the best prices in town, so that makes UBE your one-stop shop for all things ECU. UBE does daily restocks of Champion, Adidas, and Under Armour. Don't forget to bring your young pirates to plunder the Crow's Nest, which is the only kids store dedicated to ECU. Plenty of free parking in Uptown Greenville. Visit them online at PirateWear.com. Go Pirates!
Washington's favorite place to eat and where all the locals go is down on Main Street. Down on Main Street's famous weekday lunch specials are only $7.99. Stop by for the house salad with grilled chicken, the half club sandwich with chips, or everyone's favorite, the fried shrimp plate. After work, down on Main Street is the perfect spot for dinner and a drink on the patio. Join Down on Main Street every Wednesday for half-price wings from 4 to close. Down on Main Street in historic downtown Washington. Go Pirates!
East Coast Grading and Utilities is your source for clearing, hauling dirt, and concrete work. East Coast Grading and Utilities handles all sewer and water issues as well.
I'm David Bone. Whether putting in a new subdivision or helping you with any and all of your drainage problems, I can get the job done. Call me at 531-7494.
No job is too big or too small. East Coast Grading and Utilities. Friends helping friends. 531-7494 for East Coast Grading and Utilities.
Hi, I'm Walker Allen Volova, and I'm with CopyPro. CopyPro has been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for over 50 years. CopyPro is the leader in office technology. Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at CopyPro, total satisfaction is our #1 priority. We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net. CopyPro, we are the professional office systems people.
Well, if it isn't the Pirate Captain.
Pirate Radio.
The beard's looking great, my man.
The voice of the...
Because she had a procedure earlier this morning of the butt variety.
Okay. She's doing all right?
Yeah, she's good. Anybody, I'm going to say nobody here has had a colonoscopy?
No, but my mother did, and I had to attend several of those. So, yes, I'm familiar with the procedure.
She's not too bad around, like, hospital settings or needles or blood or large pictures of inside a colon. Mm-hmm. I, on the other hand, don't like any of that stuff.
Yeah, I understand.
It was a little shaky for me. Anybody in the chat had one of those deals?
I'm gonna take a guess at who. I bet Jamie has. Oh, well, he just said it.
Kenny Curlings.
Steve, Kenny.
Yeah.
Randolph, probably.
Randolph.
Yeah.
Where's Randolph?
Where's Randolph? She said the worst part is like leading up to it because you can't eat. You got to flush it out.
Yeah, there is a bottle of stuff that they have to give you to basically clean out your system, so you don't have anything in there when you go. And from everything I have been told, is that it's some of the grossest stuff you will ever have to drink in your life.
That's what I was told in the last 24 hours. So, did get a yes from Lily. She is in for Saturday.
Sweet.
She's really on board with Pirate.
I was about to say, she's making it a every game thing to join us in Section 213.
Yeah, so we will be there on a Saturday. Josh Thomas secured a couple of seats in 213, he says. See you Saturday. We'll see you there, Josh.
See you.
John says we're talking about politicians and Whitlock, Stephen A. Smith, and act one way on camera, a different way behind the scenes. He said it's called a swerve in the wrestling business. And John was asking about the sports entertainment bar.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually talked to Big Dog earlier today. I think I'm going to just go ahead and say it. I think I'm going to go ahead and lock myself in, along with A-Harp, and say there will be a Royal Rumble watch party. Alex is fired up, and seeing him fired up gets me fired up. So
I'm sure the Big Dog's fired up.
I looked at it. The ECU does not play that day in hoops. They play the following day, so it does not conflict with that. Now, Chon, you are not going to be a part of it, right?
No, I can come.
You're coming.
Sure.
Okay. Last night, you kind of uninvited yourself to it.
Well, I didn't know if I would be a part of it. I'm just not as big of a wrestling fan as you guys are.
And there could be other people involved. I'll put it that way. But I know for sure myself, A-Harp are in. Sean, he's got 1 foot in.
Yeah.
He's got, you got to be 2 feet. Is it 2 feet have to hit the ground, or if 1 foot hits the ground?
2 feet must hit the floor.
Yeah. So he's got 1 foot on the floor, but he's got a Kofi Kingston thing going on.
Oh, yeah. He's hanging on to the barricade at the moment.
He's hanging on. Steven says, great experience. Didn't remember anything. Yeah. My wife was shocked about that, too. She did not remember going under or anything happening. So that was a pleasant part of it. Jamie says the actual procedure is the easy part. the lead up sucks. Yeah, I can see that. What were we talking about? Oh, nothing. Fleet Feet Rundown, brought to you by Fleet Feet. Shirley Rhodes has her New Balances from Fleet Feet.
Mm-hmm.
She's feeling good. They're at 207 East Arlington Boulevard in the old Gordon's Golf location, and they run for you. They have something for runners, walkers, everyone in between. Fleet Feet, they got the tools. They got the great one-on-one service. Go see them and get the right shoe for your feet.
They got the scientific technology. When you went, Shirley, did they use any of the scanners or anything like that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. One-on-one service?
What's that?
One-on-one service?
Yes, absolutely. They gave me, they told me to walk across this area. It just looks like a little track, and you just walk across. It scans your feet, and it actually shows, like, for the different impact points where your feet actually touch the ground. Because mine was a little uneven. It also showed that my heels are not the same. I have one that's slightly narrower. And I actually have one foot that's slightly longer than the other. So, so all of those factors kind of, it goes into the software, and they tell you what the recommendations of which shoe to use. And so they brought me out several different types of shoes. I tried all the different ones on. The New Balances were the ones I walked out with. Very comfortable.
Fleet Feet, they run for you.
They run for you.
Yep.
You know when you get off your routine, you takes a while for your brain to catch up on what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
So I was up early today, went to the college, whatever it's called. I had to sit. You have to sit in the car. And they're like, don't leave the parking lot.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to be a rule breaker and just pull out in the road, but I didn't. I stayed in the car.
I wonder what they would do
have
if
a waiting room with a TV or anything?
No. You're not allowed in the building.
I tell you what, man, they're running through. It's like a damn pit crew or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like a butt factory. They got a butt in, butt out, butt in the wheelchair.
Oh, yeah.
They dump them out, put the next one in. It is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Assembly line. So anyway, I'm there for a while, go back home, come here, knock out some interviews, leave again, pick up Lily, come back here. Anyway, so I'm off my routine, and you brought up Bill Belichick. I was like, what about Belichick? And you're like, well, he's not with the Patriots. I was like, was that today?
Yes.
That was today. That was this morning. I thought it was yesterday. Not shocking, I guess, because it's been speculated for the entire year, but still crazy to read, right?
Yeah. I mean, you always think about it, you always talk about it happening, but when you see the breaking news and the graphics on ESPN or wherever you get your news, it's always crazy to see. And we saw that this morning, Bill Belichick out. They did have a press conference, him and Robert Kraft, this morning. So, yeah, no Tom Brady, and now they were able to hang on to Bill Belichick. Hey, we still got Belichick, and now they can say that they don't have Brady or Belichick.
This is awesome. I'm ready for the Patriots to suck for 2 decades. Their run is over.
Well, it's not just that, but it's also kind of like a comfort thing. If you go back to yesterday, Pete Carroll gets let go as head coach. Nick Saban announces his retirement, and now Belichick is gone. You're talking about some long tenured coaches in their profession, and you just kind of reach a comfort level like you always think they're going to be there.
Yep.
And then you wake up one morning and they're just not. And it's just it's going to be a big adjustment, really, because there's 3 of the biggest names in the NFL. Well, in football in general.
I don't like it because it's just another sign of how old we are.
Well, yeah, that too.
It
that's definitely, yeah.
To see those guys fall, either what I guess none of them were fired. I still don't know what the Pete Carroll thing was exactly. But Jamie, like you, he says, I keep seeing Belichick to Atlanta. I can't figure out why. Yeah, that's I heard that today as well. That the betting favorite is Atlanta.
That just doesn't seem like a fit.
Yeah.
Well, I think the reason why they're thinking that is because Arthur Blank has
a blank check.
Yeah, because he's thrown a lot of money at some other coaches in the past. Well done, sir.
Chandler got a good chuckle out of that one.
Yeah, that was let me go ahead and give you your. There you go. But he has shown that he is willing to spend the money if he can get somebody to come in. Now, the last couple of times he's done it, he's been turned down. So
I think Josh Harris could pony up money. I think anybody.
Well,
David
yeah.
Tepper can do it.
Well, David Tepper could definitely do it. I'm just saying that if you go based on things that have happened in the past, that's why some people seem to lean towards Atlanta's, because they have been willing to spend that kind of money.
Maybe he likes Arthur Blank's mustache.
I don't know.
Could be. We got to get a break in. We'll come back. More on the Fleet Feet Rundown when we return. Hour 2. Talk some Pirate Bay.
Farm home and auto insurance, you can save an average of $889 per year. Hi, I'm State Farm Agent Timothy Sawyer, and I'm ready to help you combine your home and auto and save in Greenville, North Carolina. Call 493-0002 today to get started on your personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Country Mart has been locally owned and operated for over 40 years and is your premier country store serving the best cheese biscuits and country food around. Country Mart is open every day and has 2 locations in Bethel on Highway 11 and in Stokes on Highway 903. Both Country Mart locations are top-of-the-line fuel stations serving Shell gas, including 93 ethanol-free high-octane gas, which is the best for all you boat owners. Country Mart, fueling you up with great food in your engines with great gasoline. Go Pirates.
Do you ever talk to yourself about where to eat today, and then you hear
Warren's Hot Dogs?
Then you're thinking, yeah, 2 hot dogs, chips, and a drink for only $6.25 would be awesome.
Warren's Hot Dogs.
And maybe some homemade lemonade, perhaps a pizza or a sub, and definitely an apple or peach turnover.
Warren's Hot Dogs.
Don't overthink where to eat today. Go to Warren's Hot Dogs in Greenville across from Ron Ayers, or in Chocowinity next to the fire station. Warren's Hot Dogs, serving the Pirate Nation since 1991. Go Pirates!
Now's your chance to save during the year-end clear-out at Bostic Sugg Furniture. We're clearing out the 2023s, which means huge savings for you. Find unheard-of sale prices all across our showroom floor. Save 70% off clearance items. Take an extra 10% off all in-stock custom order furniture, plus 6 months special financing. Get a new mattress at year-end savings, plus all in-stock last chance Serta Arctic and Restonic mattresses are half off. The year-end clear-out is finally here, now at Bostic Sugg Furniture.
This is Brian Harris with 360 Golf Carts, Pitt County's go-to shop for all things golf carts. We have E-Z-Go, club car, and utility carts to choose from. Whether it's for the beach, riding around the neighborhood, or working in the yard, 360 Golf Carts has the perfect ride for you. If you have issues with your current cart, take it by my shop for an expert's diagnosis. From parts to sales to service, we have you covered. We will even deliver right to you. So come see me, Brian Harris, on Highway 43, just past D.H. Conley High School. 360 Golf Carts, Pirates supporting Pirates.
Jimmy John's has great taste wrapped up. All your favorite Jimmy John's sandwiches are now available as a wrap. Enjoy all natural meats, cheeses, and hand-sliced veggies, bundled into a convenient grab-and-go wrap that's made when you order it. Top it off with sensational sides, including new home-style potato salad and bow tie pasta salad. Wrap your taste buds around Jimmy John's new wraps. And don't forget their loyalty app with a free sandwich after your first visit. Jimmy John's in Greenville and Wilson, and online at jimmyjohns.com.
For years, Callie Ann Phelps has been singing about Phelps Chevrolet.
Phelps Chevrolet is the one for you. Low prices, service too. See the big dealer right away. Carolina's finest, Phelps Chevrolet.
And you'll agree with what Skylar Phelps has to say.
Nobody beats Phelps Chevrolet's prices. Nobody.
The name you can depend on. Phelps Chevrolet.
Get you one.
We are talking with the legendary Greg Lassiter, championsofgreenville.com. And I say that because very few businesses last 10 years, 20 years. You're getting ready to celebrate your 40th year at Champions Health and Fitness.
This next coming July will make 40 years. I started out in Aden with 3 pieces of equipment and didn't even have a bathroom for people to use, so it's come a long ways.
Champions Health and Fitness. Give the address and the phone number.
4190 Bayswater Drive, Winterville, North Carolina. Our phone number is 353-0544.
You can find Champions Champions, right behind the Fire Tower on Fire Tower Road. Champions Health and Fitness.
You're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the pirate nation. Go Pirates! Arg!
Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well,
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Beauty Bar Metaspa. Do you want to get rid of wrinkles, tighten and lift your skin, smooth your skin texture, erase veins and brown spots, and get rid of unwanted hair? Are you interested in Botox or filler? Visit beautybarmetaspa.com to set up a free consultation. Now, back to the show.
All right, finally got the microphone turned on. Welcome back. Bud Light reminds Pirate fans to always stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
All right, Buck Scoreboard presented by the Buck.
The Buck.
Do we have the Jeff Nadeau Buck thing, Shirley?
Come to the Buck.
Come to the Buck.
And get bucked up.
That we have a final in the NBA. Do you know why? Apparently they played in Paris.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, Paris.
Who played in Paris?
The Cavs beat the Nets 111-102.
Put it in the Louvre.
Speaking of that, I saw that the Panthers will be hosting a game in Germany next year. Do you hate that as much as I do?
I hate it.
Good.
I hate it.
We need to get more people on board that hate international NFL games.
I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it.
Okay, so explain to me why you hate it.
I'm glad you asked. Because NFL home games are precious. You only get 8. Now you get 8 or 9.
Okay.
Fans are, paying for the tickets. It's hard to win on the road in any sport. You only get in baseball and basketball, you have 1 million home games in the season.
You only have 16 weeks of the NFL season.
17.
17, sorry.
18 now, 17 games. But they are precious. And to get screwed on a home game, it doesn't matter when you're as bad as the Commanders and Panthers, but for normal teams, to lose a home game, I think, is a big deal. I don't think it's fair that, say, the other teams in my division are getting all their games at home with their fans, and we're shipping our team out to Germany to play a home game.
Why can't we do it? And I know it's all about visibility, it's expanding the game to make it an international game, yada, yada, yada. But why can't we just do it the other way around, where we have a home game, but we do it early in the day? For example, like it's 9 a.m., our time for a game. And instead of having the game in London, have it here, but air it 9 a.m. their time, or however you want to do it.
Oh, you're saying to help their watching audience.
Yes, kind of reverse it. Instead of sending the teams over there, which you have to deal with jet lag, you got to deal with the time difference and all the other stuff you got to deal with when you're traveling. I mean, that is... And the thing is it's not just Germany. It's not just Europe. It's Mexico City.
Well,
they've sent some teams down there to play.
I got a crazy idea. How about in the National Football League, with all American teams, we play the games in America at 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 8 o'clock, like we've done since I've been on this earth.
America.
Insert bald eagle screech.
And when I become president, every NFL game will be played on U.S. soil. End of discussion.
I mean, why can't we go to Canada?
It's not America! The CFL ain't playing here, and I don't want them here.
Well, it's not like Europe doesn't have their own football league. I mean, Germany has their own football league.
Good.
They can watch that.
Great. I know you want to keep it in America. I'm just saying, if we're going to go international, let's just go everywhere then.
No! Commanders, Panthers in Antarctica.
You're such a curmudgeon.
You're being such a Jamie right now.
It really boils down to the home game thing for me.
Okay.
If my team was
fair.
halfway decent and fighting for a playoff spot, and we lose like a big home game because we have to go over there, I just don't think that's fair. If other teams get more home games than my team,
that's fair. That's fair. That's a fair argument to make, I should say.
Thank you.
Panthers don't have a home field advantage anyway, so I really don't care.
Would you be okay with it if they took away an away game instead? So you still get your 9 home games or however, but they just take one of the away games because it's technically an away game.
As long as I have, that'd be even better actually. As long as I have the same amount of home games as everybody else, especially the teams in my division, I won't complain. So there you go. Do we think there's going to be an NFL version of Dirk in 15 years? The international stuff in basketball has certainly proved its worth. We have a great influx of international talent.
And
I
in
feel like
baseball.
basketball's different. Baseball, yeah, of course. I feel like baseball's different. Something about those are different sports. Again, you play more games.
Well, and maybe that's what they're trying to do is to tap into that international market.
Well, they
that has been proven successful for all the other sports. But you're right, there is a limit to how many games you have, so that's going to make it a little bit more difficult.
Nah, just something I want fixed. Johnny says I don't like it because it tempts me to bring my phone into church with me. If the game affects my fantasy team.
What does your pastor say?
That's not. You know what's tempting you, Johnny? The devil.
What does your pastor tell you to tell people?
Sometimes you have to do what you got to do.
Yep, exactly.
I said, preacher, I don't know about this flex spot, and I need to fix it by the time you are right smack dab in the good part of your sermon. What do I do? Johnny, my son.
Johnny Stats.
If you're in a PPR league and you need to move that running back out and put in a receiver or, by God, a pass-catching tight end, then you do that.
Because you got to do what you got to do.
But you do owe an extra $2 in the offering plate for a fantasy roster update tax.
Fantasy fee.
Just make sure you wrap your arms around yourself and protect your soul.
Who will save your soul? Y'all know Jewel?
Yes. Seen her in concert. Amazing in concert, actually.
I was going to say sick brag, but that is a pretty sick brag. I used to like Jewel.
I went to see her in concert right at the height of her popularity back in the 90s.
Hey,
sick
bud.
brag. Humble brag.
Look at this guy over here giving me the break sign. Steven says,
wow.
Pastor Jesse Gemstone is Stephen A. Smith's pastor. I get that reference. Anybody else?
No.
Is that from that show that y'all...
Righteous Gemstones.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Great show.
Yeah,
Great show.
I remember you talking about that show.
We'll take a break. When we return, we'll talk some Pirate baseball with Austin Knight, ECU pitching coach. If we have time, we'll get to our National Day updates.
By the way, Jewel, great yodeler. She yodels and does it very well.
People need to know that. People forget about that. More to go. Pirate Radio Live on a Thursday. Back with you after this.
Was it true?
There's local politics, bud.
What was it like playing for the Pirates?
Holton Ahlers to the 30. Look at him go. 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Pirates.
Find out all those answers and more by joining me on the Holton Ahlers Show every week right here on Pirate Radio. Subscribe to Pirate Radio TV to watch the show or listen each week on the Pirate Radio podcast channel. The Holton Ahlers Show on Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
There's local politics, bud.
Pizza, subs, slice, ice.
Jenny, what are you doing?
Just letting the Pirate Nation know that Cuccinella's has 2 locations. One in downtown Greenville across from Sup Dogs, and now in Midtown Greenville beside Best Buy. Did you know Cucinalla's is open every day with $6 lunch specials, slices all day, beer, wine, and their famous homemade gelato? Cucinalla's in downtown Greenville, and now their new location next to Best Buy. Go Pirates!
Hey you. Yeah, you. Have you heard? Greenville Auto World is under new ownership and is now part of the DriveHereNow.com network. DriveHereNow.com is run by local people who buy, service, detail, and sell everything directly to you. Greenville Auto World is now the 5th dealership to join the DriveHereNow.com network. Get car shopping today at DriveHereNow.com and choose a location near you. DriveHereNow.com, serving Eastern North Carolina for over 47 years and proud supporter of the Pirates.
Are you struggling with weight loss? It might be 15 pounds or 115 pounds. It seems like losing weight involves too much exercise and not enough food. Well, no more. Semaglutide is an FDA-approved treatment offered by ArcPoint Labs. Dr. John Bruce, a board-certified bariatric surgeon, will consult and oversee your entire weight loss journey. Transform yourself and get ready for the beach next summer. This program is safe, cost-effective, and has a physician oversight. Call ArcPoint Labs today at 514-8049.
The brunch is back. The famous brunch buffet at Fifth Street Hardware has a variety of breakfast and lunch items from 10:30 to 2, including an omelet station and prime rib, and a special Sunday cocktail menu, including mimosa flights. Don't forget, Fifth Street Hardware has lunch specials every day, along with over 40 beers on tap. Trivia Wednesday, live music every Thursday night, and a late night menu through the weekend. Visit FifthStreetHardware.com or give them a follow on Facebook and Instagram for a weekly lineup and more. Go Pirates!
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Russell from Russell's Clothing in downtown Washington. Russell's has a long history of dressing Pirate fans, both men and women. For the men, we offer both logoed and non-logoed from Peter Millar, Johnny O, and Smathers and Branson. Our ladies love Tyler Bowe, Crosby, and Never a Wallflower for game day. Join us in wishing the Pirates a healthy and successful season. And remember, for all your game day needs, shop Russell's in downtown Washington.
Go Pirates! University PC Care in Greenville and New Bern has been serving the tech repair needs of Eastern North Carolina since 2006. And as one of the only Apple authorized service providers east of Raleigh, all our technicians are Apple certified, and we only use genuine Apple parts. Your iPhone and Mac warranties are safe with us. Have questions or need service? Call 252-558-1280 or visit us online at universitypccare.com. University PC Care, your one-stop shop for service on everything Apple.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Amanda Houston, and when it came time to make the game-winning play for relaxation at our house, I made the right call to Jamie Lang and Carolina Hardscapes. Jamie and his team built the backyard oasis of our dreams with a beautiful custom paver patio, outdoor lighting, and fireplace. Make your backyard incredible and call Carolina Hardscapes today at 364-1201 or visit their showroom on Fire Tower Road across from Bostic Suck. Go Pirates!
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 at 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local and print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com, the official sportswear provider of Pirate Radio. And the Buccaneer Music Hall has all the fun for your Sunday Fun Day covered. Every Sunday, kick off the day at the Buck with the largest 4K screen in Greenville, along with 18 TVs, so you don't miss a game. They'll have mimosa specials, a Bloody Mary menu, and pizza all day from Pizza Hut. And don't forget the weekly jersey giveaway starting at 5 o'clock. Score every Sunday at the Buck. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
All right, looking forward to Super Wild Card Weekend coming up. We'll have all the games for you here on Pirate Radio. The 2 games Saturday, looking at the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard. Browns at Texans at 4:30. Dolphins Chiefs at 8 o'clock, and the weather deteriorating there, it looks like in Kansas City. It could be a cold one for your Dolphins, Shirley Rhodes. And I don't know how the Miami boys
not bode well for us.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to like that too much. Some cold weather baseball coming up here in Greenville and across the land as the ECU Pirates get ready to get underway in February for games. But the practices, things like that, have gotten underway now. And we're going to talk to ECU pitching coach Austin Knight, who joins us here inside the Pirate Radio studios. Coach, appreciate your time. How you doing today, man?
Doing awesome, man. I appreciate you having me on. Excited to talk some baseball. And you're right about the cold weather part of it. It hadn't been bad yet, but you know how it gets.
Yeah, I think I talked to JC about it last week. I'll ask you as a player and now a coach, how do you balance the, man, I'm so excited to get going for another year with the, man, it's freaking brutal out here. But, what's that like for you?
You try not to think about it too much. As a player, I think it was more of the build-up going into the practice or the game. It was like, oh, it's going to be really cold, and then the game starts, and you don't think about it anymore. Now, from the coaching side of things, you're just I'm in the dugout the whole time. So it's not like I'm running to first base. I'm not, on the field or anything like that. So I have to layer up a little bit in the dugout, and so it's not as fun from the coaching side of things. But as a player, you don't think about it too much.
Let's talk about your background a little bit as a player and coming up as a pitching coach. Is it, I don't know, unique to see catchers in a pitching coach position? They obviously go hand in hand, but I don't know, how unique is that in the world of baseball?
I think it's, not super unique.
Yeah.
My head coach in college, Mike Bianco, he was a catcher as well. I want to say Skip Burtman, who he was actually his head coach when he played. He was also a catcher. So I think it just depends, right? Now, with the background, my dad was a left-handed pitcher, and he was also a high school baseball coach for 30 years and won a bunch of state championships. So he was always on the pitching side of things and teaching pitching. And he is, just as far as work ethic goes, he was always working to kind of be on the front end of the pitching spectrum, always learning and trying to grow from that standpoint. So I took a ton from him. And then, of course, coaches that I coached with throughout the course of my career, and have been fortunate to be around some really, really good pitching minds and pitching coaches, and learned a lot from them. And, of course, you develop your own style and the things that you like to do and how you like to train guys. And but as far as is catchers, pitchers, I just think from a catching perspective, you see so much from your position. You have to learn about the entirety of the game, not just what you're doing back there. You got to learn about how the infielder should be moving, and of course pitchers and then catchers, and then of course you're talking to the pitchers and learning them and the psychology of them. And so it's just I like to think that the catchers are usually the more well-rounded players on the field,
which is why we see them in that managerial role a lot here at ECU, of course, with Cliff, but in Major League Baseball over the years, a ton of catchers.
Absolutely, yeah, and some really, really good ones. And of course, Coach Godwin being our head coach, he's seen a lot of it and played a lot of different roles as an assistant, and of course as a player. And so that's I think that background is certainly a big piece of why he does such a tremendous job with our team.
Austin Knight joining us, Pirate Radio Studios. If you have a question for Coach, you can get it in Facebook, YouTube, or X, and we will pass that along. I talked to Danny Beal last week about how you work with the pitchers and that open line of communication, that if they've got something, they're not afraid to come to you. Obviously, it's your job to tell them what they're doing wrong, what they need to improve on. But how individualized can you be with the pitcher where you're not giving the same kind of, tutelage across the board? You're breaking it down to each individual.
Yeah, I think it's what we strive to do with every guy in our program, especially on the pitching side of things, is that you don't want them to ever feel like they're having to, be the other guy that's standing across from them. They want to have their own individual plans, and we're going to coach them a certain way. Now, obviously, it has to fall within the structure of our program and what we're doing, but it all starts with the relationships with the players, which starts in recruiting, of course, and watching them and constantly talking with them and getting videos from them and just working their way through it and getting them to understand what we value here. And then when they get here, man, it's you're just learning them when they're fresh freshmen, right? You're learning them, getting them integrated into our system, and then learning what they do well, learning what they don't do so well, and then making plans for each guy. And so it is very individualized for us. Each guy their bullpens are structured different ways than the guy standing next to them. Their throwing programs are structured different ways than the guy standing next to them. What they're doing in the weight room is different than Trey Savage and Wyatt Lunsford Shinkman. They have different strengths and different weaknesses, so they're doing different things on a daily basis. And so that's something that we're always reaching for and trying to make sure that our guys are really diving into their strengths and becoming their own best pitcher. And so, yeah, I think it's all obviously with the relationship piece of it, it's an ongoing conversation all the time. And like Danny said, that it is an open line of communication. There's guys in my office all the time. And with those older guys, once you get them in the system and you get them to understand who they are as a pitcher and how they are going to get hitters out and what they need to do, at that point it's more fine-tuning and of course striving to maybe gain more velocity or make the slider move a little bit more or whatever it may be. But with the freshmen, it's more ground zero, work them up, get them ready, and then of course over time they become what you see some of these older guys.
I want to ask you about some of these pitchers, and I'm not going to start with Trey Savage or Zach Root. I'm going to start with my guy, Danny Beal. We've gotten to know him and just a great personality, and gave you credit for adjusting the arm angle and him still being able to pitch at a high level. What is he going to bring to the bullpen this year? How important is a guy like Beal in the staff?
Oh, he's so important because he can serve a multitude of roles. He can go long relief, he can go short relief, he can close out a game. Heck, I would even start him if we really needed it to. It's one of those things. He just can, I think about Garrett Saylor and kind of what he did in our program the last couple of years. I think that he is very similar to Danny in that way. And, Danny is just unique because there's so many different pitches. And so obviously the arm slots are shifting and he's able to throw a ton of strikes with it, and it's good stuff to go along with it. And so you got to have a guy like that in your bullpen. And the thing that's really good about him being able to switch slots and throw sidearm and do some different things is you don't want everybody in your bullpen to look the same.
Yeah.
I thought we ran into some trouble with that in the bullpen last year. And I actually think that's why a part of why Danny had such a good year is because we had a lot of power arms in the bullpen with a really good slider, and they kind of were similar, and with Danny being able to come in and switch the pace up, I think that gave some offensive fits. So I see him serving a very similar role, and he's just continued to improve over the last 6-7 months as well.
Jamie on YouTube, as we'll go to Trey Savage here, he says, is Trey Savage the best pitcher Austin Knight has ever coached? Also, what makes him so good and well known nationally?
Well, Gavin Williams is coming back to town tomorrow to throw a bullpen, so I better not.
He's all right.
I think it's definitely a toss up, between those two guys. I will say Trey was probably better from just the pitchability type deal from an earlier stage. Gavin really was just the power fastball for a long time until really his draft year. But Trey was able to pick up pitches a lot quicker and execute them and throw the ball into the strike zone quicker. But what makes him, obviously he's a tremendous arm, and I don't want to take any credit away from him by any means. But the thing that makes him special in itself is, of course, it's really good stuff, but he throws a ton of strikes, and his secondary pitches are elite, and they grade out on a major league level at a really high level. But he's coachable, and he's tough, and the makeup is outstanding, and he can handle situations. I think you saw it really his freshman year when we were throwing him out there in bases loaded situation, and he's punching out the side coming off the field, and you saw a guy that could really handle himself on the mound in the biggest situations. And then when you have that side of things, you have the mentality side, you have the mental side, and of course you have a lot of talent, it turns into something special over time.
You mentioned earlier freshmen kind of coming into the ground floor, and hey, we'll kind of take it slow with them. Zach Root came on pretty quick and was a huge part of what ECU did pitching in 2023. What improvements did you want to see from him from freshman to sophomore year?
I think just the quality of strikes, and then he needed to really work on his breaking pitches. He came in, and of course you notice immediately it's a high level of talent, and fastball velocity and the changeup's really good. But he always had trouble just spinning a breaking ball or a slider or whatever. Well, he went out in the summer and he pitched the summer and he's fixed that issue. He now has 2 breaking balls. He's got a good curveball and he's got a good slider cutter to go with it. And so he is, and he's put on weight. He's gotten stronger and he's commanding the baseball in the strike zone. It's not just, control over command. He's commanding his fastball to both sides of the plate. The secondaries are in the zone a lot more. And so I think that really helped with added strength and then just focusing on those things. But he's looked really good early on, so definitely excited about him.
A guy I feel like I could see making a big jump, and maybe we've already seen it. He's a household name with Pirate fans now, but Wyatt Lunsford-Shankman last year, 49 Ks to 13 walks. ERA was over 4. Record was 4-2. How about Wyatt? Do you see him being a big part of the staff this year?
Yeah, he's a stud. He's a stud. He's also worked very hard, and he's refined some things, and as excited about him as anybody on our staff. At this point, man, he's been in a lot of big situations, big games. He's another guy similar to Danny that I feel like can serve a lot of roles. But one thing is for sure is that he has the right mentality to be out there, and he is throwing the ball into the strike zone at an extremely high level. His stuff has gotten better. The slider's gotten better. The changeup's gotten better. The fastball is sinking and running more than it ever has, and he's throwing it as hard or harder than he ever has. And so, I think the sky is the limit for that kid, and yeah, I think he's going to be a huge part of our success this year.
We're talking about some great returners on this staff, but you are losing some guys: Josh Gross, Carter Spivey, Landon Ginn, Tyler Brott, to name a few. Garrett Saylor, of course, and all the innings he ate up the last couple years and great games he pitched in. So let's get to some newcomers, Coach. Who are you excited about as far as newcomers go?
Yeah, I think that there's quite a few of them. Our freshman class from Ethan Norby, Parker Thomas, J.D. Little, Corey Costello, really all those freshmen they're coming along, and I could see them serving a role. Now, what's that look like? We'll see, but they're definitely talented enough to help us win a lot of games. And then you look at the guys we brought in out of the transfer portal, Drew Bryan, Chris Kaler, Aaron Groller, guys like that. They're all just older guys who have been in the fight, they've been in the mix, and know what we expect, to be honest. And so, yeah, we've lost a good bit, and those are some really talented and good arms. 4 of those guys are pitching in professional baseball now. Yeah. But with the guys that we've got coming back, I think we have a really good, strong group of guys coming back. Even guys that maybe haven't held it as big of a role as some others. But you talk about Jaden Winter and Eric Ritchie and all those guys. Those are guys who have made big jumps from the spring last year. And so I think the combination of those guys with those young freshmen who are improving, and it's just more about getting those freshmen in the right situations and not just throwing them into the fire as quickly as possible. Let's give them some confidence and continue to bring them along so that at the end of the season they can be big difference makers for us.
Yeah, one of those guys in the pros you're talking about, Carter Spivey, who we will talk to Friday here on Pirate Radio Live. You said you were fired up when he told you that news earlier this week.
He called. We actually had bullpens. It was on Tuesday. We were inside and we had bullpens going, and Spivey called me right as we were about to start up, and I saw it and I was like, this has to be important, because he wouldn't be calling me. He knows that we've got bullpens rolling and doing different things. And I answered the phone and told him, hey man, we got some bullpens going. What's going on? And he said, I won't take long, but the Guardians just offered me a contract and I'm taking it. And I just I got chills, because that kid has worked extremely hard and he has a really cool story, and he's overcome a lot to get to where he is now. And even after last year, the kid goes out and he pitches an independent ball and he pitches extremely well and he continues to work his tail off, and I just I couldn't be more excited for him and his opportunity. I think he's going to thrive. I think he's going to do really well in professional baseball.
It is a fantastic story, and how you can overcome and how you can't write off a guy, because I knew I made a tweet about it. It was May 23rd, 2022. In 2019, Carter Spivey made 7 appearances, had an ERA of 19.5. 2022 Pitcher of the Year. So I think you can show that to anybody struggling and say, hey, guys, this ain't the end of the road. You got time to make this up, you know?
Yeah, 100%. And that's the story of him just finding himself, you know, and he went out in 21 and, you know, in 21 he just didn't really pitch well for us and went out in summer ball and, you know, figured some things out, came back with the cutter that honestly made in 2022 made him the pitcher of the year for us. And he grew in confidence and his stature out there and everything that he did. But it is a really unique story. And it's one of those deals. It's good for even coaches to hear because, hey, sometimes we just need to stick it out with kids and you don't have to, you know, close the book because you don't never know when you know, what day it might click for a kid that really helps them take the step forward.
You mentioned summer ball. I bring this up every time, but Alec Burleson had a good freshman year here at East Carolina, then went and played summer ball and was like the Babe Ruth of the Cal Ripken League and just never stopped hitting after that. Something similar maybe with Dixon Williams and some guys this past summer. But it feels like we're talking to guys, they're really loose and they're playing, but at the same time getting better and probably gaining confidence.
Right.
And you kind of touched on that a moment ago. Is that something that summer ball can really serve a purpose there, getting a player confidence?
Yeah, absolutely. I tell a lot of kids this, that the freshman year is such a toss-up a lot of times just because, you know, you're away from home for the first time. You got all these coaches who are extremely demanding and asking you to work harder than you've ever worked in your whole life, and then also in the classroom and in everything that you're doing. And, you know, a lot of kids, that takes a toll on it. Myself, it took a toll on my freshman fall, you know, when Coach Godwin was an assistant, just riding my tail like a rented mule, you know. And so it just takes time to really figure yourself out. And you know, you go into the spring and some of these kids, they may not get consistent at bats. They may not get consistent innings. Well, this is the time that they can go out and they're going to get consistent innings. They're going to get consistent at bats, and they've left here, you know, our place, and they know what we expect and what they need to get better at and all those things. And so they can be very, very focused on the details of those things. But it's like you said, summer ball is different. It's a very loose environment for the majority of places, and you're going to be in the lineup every day if you go over for the day before or whatever. And so you're constantly working on things and getting better. But I think the majority of times when guys go out and play in the summer and they come back, they're different players. And a lot of times it just has to do with confidence. And
I think it's set up beforehand, right, as far as how many innings you want a guy to get and things like that. So how much are you in contact with these summer coaches, with your guys?
A ton, and of course with the players as well. Really weekly with the players after their outings, talking to them, understanding what went well, what didn't went well, what we're working on, getting me video, different things like that. And then we talk to the coaches, you know, I mean, 7, 8, 10 to 10 months in advance. You know, we actually set these kids up with where they're going to go play in August.
Okay.
And so we have a lot of prior relationships with the people that we send the players to as well. And so constantly in contact with both sides of it, of course, and just continuing to build the relationships with the players and get to know them and you know, help them as they grow in our program.
I like to ask guys this, as a player, what was your favorite time playing baseball? And I mean, that could go to Little League, it could go, you know, to high school, Legion, travel, summer, college.
Yeah.
What was your favorite time in your life playing ball?
I've been lucky. I've been lucky to be a part of some really good teams. So my dad was my high school coach. We won 4 straight state championships in high school and had won 67 games in a row at one point. And so I had a group of guys that literally I grew up playing with from the time I was, you know, 8 years old until I was 18 years old.
That's awesome.
And so that was a pretty unique time, and we were very good and won a lot. And then got to be a part of the team in 2014 that went to Omaha with Ole Miss for the first time, and I can't even remember how many years. And that year in itself was very special to accomplish that goal with a bunch of older players and, you know, a coaching staff that had worked extremely hard and been on the verge a lot. And so, you know, those years are the ones that when I think about my playing days, they're irreplaceable, you know. And when I finished my career, I was like, you know, I'm good. You know, I don't need to go chase the free agency. I know I want to coach, but you know, you're going from a really special place, playing at Ole Miss in front of 10,000 people to playing in the backfields in Florida. I'm like, nah, I'm good on that. I've had you know, I've had some really cool experiences, so I was good at that point.
Man, you see, like the UCLA basketball winning streaks and these winning streaks in football, that's one thing, but baseball with all the, you know, you got different arms on the mound. You're not hitting the ball one day to win that many games in a row. I don't think I've ever heard that.
I know
before.
it's a state record in Mississippi, and that's my dad he was a tremendous coach and instilled a ton in me as far as work ethic goes, and he was the first guy that's talking about detail orientation, and he was on us all the time because he knew we could be good. I remember us 10 run rolling teams and us running after the game because we didn't execute a bunt in the second inning or something like that, and so a lot of credit has to be given to him for that.
Let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll have another segment with Austin Knight if you want to get a question in. Got a question here about MLB scouts at college games, and we'll pass that one along to Coach Knight and talk more Pirate baseball when we return on Pirate Radio Live on a Thursday. Back with you after this.
Here with Jeff Stein at Brown & Wood. It's a great time to buy a used vehicle.
It's not a great time, it's a perfect time to buy a used car from Brown & Wood. We have over 115 used vehicles in stock, and we're number one in the market on price. We have limited lifetime powertrain on all of our used cars under 80,000 miles, so go to brownandwoodauto.com to find out more. 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 rooftops, and 1 goal: to make sure you leave a happy customer.
It's here, Pirate Nation. The Holton Ahlers Show is now available every week right here on Pirate Radio. Subscribe to Pirate Radio TV on YouTube to watch the show, or find the Holton Ahlers Show on the Pirate Radio podcast channel to download and listen. Stories, big name guests, what I'm up to that week, plus plenty of laughs and opinions with my best friends known as the Walk-Ons. Subscribe today to watch and listen to the Holton Ahlers Show right here on Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
There's local politics, bud.
Save a load on a new John Deere compact utility tractor and loader from Quality Equipment. It's never been easier to get the best brand on the market at an unbeatable cash price, or with great financing at our lowest ever monthly payment. Now is the time to get that tractor package you've been dreaming of to get your next job done right. Stop by one of our 36 locations in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia, or visit us online at qualityequip.com.
This is John Gavigan with the Gavigan Agency. Our top priority is doing what is best for our members. Whether you are buying a new vehicle, a new home, protecting your family with life insurance, or filing a claim, our agency will be there every step of the way. Our goal is to become a trusted advisor for you and your family for all of your personal and commercial insurance needs. Give us a call in Greenville at 756-1400 for a car, home, business, or life insurance quote today, and give us the opportunity to show you the benefits of doing business with someone who cares.
The brunch is back. The famous brunch buffet at Fifth Street Hardware has a variety of breakfast and lunch items from 10:30 to 2, including an omelet station and prime rib, and a special Sunday cocktail menu, including mimosa flights. Don't forget, Fifth Street Hardware has lunch specials every day, along with over 40 beers on tap. Trivia Wednesday, live music every Thursday night, and a late night menu through the weekend. Visit FifthStreetHardware.com or give them a follow on Facebook and Instagram for a weekly lineup and more. Go Pirates!
Here with Greg Lassiter from Champions Gym. And Greg, you've got a tremendous staff working for you with professional trainers. You've got classes like cycle, Pilates, muscle pump, Zumba. Talk about what you can bring to people like myself who's just getting back into the physical fitness world.
We've got all those classes, but the main thing we've got is a way for people to come in and feel comfortable. People, when they go in that gym, they feel like that is their home away from home.
Give the address and the phone number.
4190 Bayswater Drive, Winterville, 353-0544.
Champions Health and Fitness.
The Angus Grill is your premier spot for the best burgers, cheesesteaks, and brisket sandwiches around. Join us for our unmatched variety of burger combinations, from the mushroom bacon Swiss burger to the jalapeno popper burger to the original Angus classic. Pair that burger with our amazing onion rings, tots, fries, or sweet potato fries. Angus Grill, with 4 amazing locations in eastern North Carolina, including Winterville near Pitt Community College, on Jarvis Street in uptown Greenville, and on Statensburg Road near the hospital. It's the best burger around, guaranteed.
Do you want to get rid of wrinkles, tighten and lift your skin, smooth your skin texture, erase veins and brown spots, get rid of unwanted hair and under-eye fat pads? Are you interested in Botox or filler? Contact the licensed professionals at Beauty Bar MediSpa for a free consultation and ask about our newest technologies and treatments. Learn more at beautybarmedispa.com. Red Banks Road, Greenville. Enjoy your visit, love your transformation, and go Pirates!
This is ECU head baseball coach Cliff Godwin, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Do you want to get rid of wrinkles, tighten and lift your skin, smooth your skin texture, erase veins and brown spots, and get rid of unwanted hair? Are you interested in Botox or filler? Contact the licensed professionals at Beauty Bar Medi-Spa on Red Banks Road in Greenville. Free consultations available by calling 752-1406 or visiting beautybarmedispa.com. Enjoy your visit. Love your transformation. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
All righty, back with you, Pirate Radio Live. We got Shirley Rhodes. We got the former long snapper, Chandler Honeycutt. We got the current long snapper, Alex Harper, intern Alex. And we got the pitching coach of the Pirates, Austin Knight, joining us here inside the Pirate Radio studios. Got a few questions on Facebook and YouTube that we'll get to. And this is more of a comment, I guess. A comment and a question. Johnny Stat says, I watched Cam Clonch strike out 5 batters in 2 innings in the Valley League in 2021. Did he ever try to pitch here at East Carolina?
Yeah, he pitched at least in 2 falls that we had. And, you know, he threw a ton of strikes. He's in the mid-80s as a left-hander. But he just kind of had some arm issues early on. And so at that point, you start prioritizing how he's going to help us more. And that was with the bat, of course. And so he actually pitched a little bit last fall just because we didn't have a ton of left-handers, just to give some looks for our guys because we were so left-handed heavy at the plate. Needed him to see some more left-handers. Right. So he pitched a little bit and did fine. But he has not pitched this year, and I don't envision him pitching this year, but hey, who's to say?
Well, Coach Godwin, yourself, this staff recruits athletes and very versatile guys, right? You like guys that can do different things. So how about on this year's roster, any two-way guys for you?
Yeah, Colby Wallace is a freshman, plays corner infield and pitches as well. Also, you know, a really good hitter, but strong physical kid, and he's really got a future on both sides of it, I think. You know, he's at the plate, he's got a ton of power and really good on the infield and an accurate arm, and on the mound he's, you know, low 90s with a breaking ball and a good cutter and a developing changeup, and throws a ton of strikes. And so you know, another guy that you probably will see in the mix because he's a competitive kid and handles himself well.
Yeah, and you gotta do that if you're going to go both ways. I mean, it's hard enough to hit the ball, hard enough to get a guy out, to do both. How do you make sure you're not kind of giving a guy too much in that situation?
Just by prioritizing. You know, early on in the fall, we didn't do a ton with them pitching wise, just because we wanted to see him at third base and see him on the infield and see him play. But this early spring, we have been more focused on the pitching side of things. Not to say he's not doing everything on the hitting side, but he's closer to a normal pitching plan with him throwing multiple bullpens during the week. And when he's doing that, he's not throwing as much across the infield with Coach Palumbo. And so he's still getting ground balls and all that. It's just the throwing is less involved across the infield and just more on a normal throwing plan that the pitchers would do.
Kurt asking, what is the plan for midweek arms this season? Said last season we struggled in the midweek against quality competition. What is the plan, Coach?
Yeah, I think that will develop over time. You know, as we get into the spring inter squads and different things like that. You know, I think going into last year, you thought Garrett Saylor was going to be a big reliever, but for the most part, he ended up turning into a starter and throwing in the middle of the week. The most important thing is that we have options, which you know we do, and it could be a situation where it depends on what happens on the weekend. You throw one of your better bullpen arms as a starter in the middle of the week, or you could start freshman or one of the transfers, but I do think that we have plenty of options that are quality to go out there and pitch in the middle of the week.
It's very rare, I mean, hell, even in the big leagues, but certainly on the college level and here at East Carolina, that your starting weekend rotation is the same as it is in, March, April, May.
Yeah.
Due to injury, due to performance, due to young guys getting better and all that. So you got to be kind of coaching on the fly in some ways, right? Making sure you have the right guys in the right spot as the season goes along. Just because it starts that way in February doesn't mean it's always going to be.
Yeah, absolutely, of course. And that's, obviously you're just reading how guys are doing and are they healthy? Are they feeling good? Are they effective? Are they continuing to go in the right direction that you want them to? And so it's, ideally, I think we'd all like to have 4 set starters and they all throw 7 innings and you have a closer that closes every game.
It's not a video game, though, right?
It's not. And you see it in the big leagues as well. I just think it's funny because as soon as you hit the playoffs, the starters don't throw more than 5 innings ever. And of course it's a long season and a little bit different than college, and of course you want your starters to pitch deep into the game, especially on the front end of a weekend. But the reality is that you're probably not going to have 4 or 5 guys that can throw 7 innings every single time that they go out there, and so that's why you have to have 15, 14, 13 quality arms that can go each innings and pitch quality innings, like you said, in the middle of the week, because we're going to play good teams in the middle of the week. We're going to play good teams on the weekend. They're all important. And so, I think that it's all about who's feeling good, who do we use on the end of the weekend, who can start the game, who do we need in the middle of the game, and who do we need to close the game. And we will throw the best available arms, that's for sure, because we want to win those games.
Seems like Cliff's philosophy has not go to one big time shutdown Trevor Hoffman closer. Right. It's kind of closer by committee. Is that kind of the way you plan on doing it this year?
Yeah, I think that you have to, you need to understand that the game can be won and lost in the 5th inning. It can be won and lost in the 6th inning. Yeah. Of course, it can be won and lost in the 9th inning as well.
So you'll send your best guy out there in a key spot.
Yeah, you don't ever want to lose a game leaving your best bullet in the chamber, right? You want to empty that out and make sure that we're in the game towards the end and that our offense has a chance to win the game, or that we can finish that thing out. And that's where you've seen in the past where, our best bullpen guy, he may go in the 6th and he may finish the game. He may finish the game or bridge us to the 9th, and you go to the next best guy, depending on the matchups. And of course, that just depends on the game and who started the game and who's pitching and what kind of matchup we have and what kind of look we want to give the opposing offense and what they're trying to do to us. I mean, there's a ton that goes into that.
Question from Jamie on YouTube. Interesting. Do the coaches know when MLB scouts are at the games? If so, do you get a heads up? Do you relay that to the players? Do you have a conversation at all? Like, what's that?
No, I mean, we know in the fall that they're coming because Coach Palumbo will send out an email just to communicate with them to make sure that our guys are being seen. But outside of that, they may ask about certain guys when they may be pitching, right? When are they going to pitch Friday? They can pitch Saturday. But I don't think we necessarily know that they're at the game unless we talk to them during BP. I mean, they're there from the time we hit BP until, of course, the end of the game. And as far as addressing it with our players, it's not really talked about. No. I mean, that's just part of being a part of a good program, is that you're going to be seen, you're going to have scouts in the stands, and they're going to be watching you. And so you don't want to make that a big deal because we're a team, we're playing for each other, not for the people, the scouts in the stands.
High school coaches, showcase coaches, obviously are in the ear of college coaches saying, "Hey, you got to see this guy. You got to check out this guy." Does that go up a level? Like, do you know people from organizations saying, "Hey, this Spivey guy, you got to give him a shot"? Or are you out there talking about your guys?
Of course, now to a lower level, of course. But these scouts are always asking about guys, and of course, we're pushing guys that like Spivey that we feel like should be given an opportunity. Now, does that mean they're always going to listen to us? No, of course not, right? And even with the Guardians this time, I had talked to the Guardians guy a while back about Spivey, and so I actually didn't see this coming down the pipeline, and I think that Spivey had a pro day and he sent them some video and they're like, yeah, we'll give you a shot, let's roll, and so you of course have people in the industry that you trust and of course that trust you, and so you're communicating with them and trying to give our guys the best shot to move forward and advance their careers.
I asked Jeff Palumbo this the other day just about all the success East Carolina has year in, year out. You got to flip it and it's a whole new year, and how do you stay hungry? And gave a pretty good obvious answer. That main carrot's still out there, getting to Omaha. So how about yourself with all the success that this team has had, the pitching that has had over the years? How do you stay hungry? How do you just keep motivated for the next year?
Well, I think it starts with exactly what Coach Palumbo said. We set out with a goal every single year to win a national championship, and unfortunately, if you don't do that, there's only one team that gets to do that. But that goal is still still out there moving forward, and it will be even if you win a national championship. So
Right.
it's something that you're chasing, and it's as far as that goes, it's probably unattainable to really be satisfied with. But as far as from the day to day and all that stuff, I just think that it's just a hunger within our coaching staff, within our team, just to be the very best that you can possibly be on any given day. Right? It's just the constant chase of excellence and pursuing just being the best version of yourself. And so, of course, we all want to win a national championship, but ultimately, I think we all want to be just the best versions of ourselves and want to be as good as we can possibly be. And we want our players to be as good as we can possibly be. And so, that's what gets us out of bed is that, we have a bunch of 18 to 22, 23-year-olds that are in a very crucial time in their life, and we want them to be the best human beings, the best baseball players, the best students, the best husbands, the best fathers. And that, to me, is where, that's where satisfaction comes from more than anything.
Yeah, I tell Coach Godwin this, and I've interacted with some pitchers, Wyatt and Danny, and I hadn't even brought up Jake Hunter, the dancing man. Yeah. But all just great guys, and I think that says a lot about the players you are bringing into this program.
Yeah, and Coach Palumbo, of course, being the recruiting coordinator, does an outstanding job on the front end of that, of making sure that the kids are hard workers and diligent and good students and exactly, a good fit. And then, but that's important. That's extremely important to all of us, because you don't want to be around a bunch of kids that you don't like that are talented, that maybe don't mesh into your culture and all that stuff. I mean, for me, I want to show up to the field and love the kids that I'm going to be around and enjoy being around them and be able to cut up with them while we're working hard and getting them better. And so, that of course is on the front end of things. And then with, Coach Godwin and the way that he runs his program, these kids are just going to become better men and better leaders in society. And so they become very enjoyable kids to be around.
And man, just talking about that, I went back thinking about a Lane Hoover, a Garrett Saylor. Like, you want Lane to hit the ball, but even if he strikes out 20 times in a row, or Saylor gives up 8 home runs in a row, they're still going to help your team some way, just because of the guys they are. Now, luckily, they were also good ball players, but just great guys. And we see those guys leave the program. You're like, man, who's going to fill those shoes? Well, it's about the culture. Every year, somebody is filling those shoes.
Yeah, and I think that's really cool. And I think that's, any organization, it has to have that a little bit, is that when these pivotal leaders, they leave the team or leave the organization, and they're through attrition or graduation or whatever it may be, you have people that they had an impact on that want to have that impact on younger players or the new coming players. And then, over time, whenever you have that type of leadership within your program, it just continues to go. Now, you still have to work on it every single day. You still have to work on it and make sure that we're holding true to our standards and holding each other accountable. But whenever these kids are self-driven to be leaders and to help the people standing next to them that are wearing the same jersey than them, you've got something that's really special.
Jamie on YouTube brought up, said Austin and the coaches did a good job going into the postseason last year, getting Ginn to speed up his routine. There was a lot of talk about that. So that was a new rule last year. I guess this year, do you have a physical clock?
Yeah.
Okay. In the stadium.
And so we'll have one on the scoreboard and I believe behind home plate.
Did any big problem with that last year for you, being in year one?
Just in the conference tournament, really. I mean, we pride ourselves on having good tempo and being fast paced. And, you think about college football and the no huddle offense and things like that. It's what you want to think about whenever you're pitching within reason. You want to be in control of yourself, but we want to have that sort of pace that makes the hitter uncomfortable and keeps our defenders engaged. But yeah, Landon sure was taking his sweet time in the conference tournament. Had to strike out a couple guys multiple times to get the last out, and so that's just typical Landon for you, honestly. It's just one day he's doing it slow, one day he's doing it fast, one day he's who knows, he's standing on his head. He's a special character, and I love that kid. I was so thrilled that he was a part of our program last year, and it worked out where he could come back and we could help each other out. And I talked to him yesterday. He's a guy that's constantly reaching out, and so but that was a frustrating 10 minutes for sure in that conference tournament. I think Coach Godwin's yelling out, "Throw the ball, throw the ball in."
So that was a new rule going into last year. I've seen some changes. I don't think it affects anything you got going on as far as walk-up music for a regional, as far as I think the new parameters on RPI and how that's determined.
Yeah.
Anything on the field? Any rule changes?
No, nothing yet. I mean, just some things that they're going to, keep an eye on. Of course, 20-second clock, pitcher delivery positions, different things like that. But nothing new other than, like you said, the walkout. What would your walkout song be?
I'm usually asking that, but I think my answer would be maybe the NWO theme,
That's
wrestling theme.
Yeah,
that's a good one. I think a wrestling theme gets a good crowd pop.
Yeah.
So I think maybe NWO. How about yourself? What did you have one in college?
I had a bunch of them. I mean, I can barely remember them now. I did No Diggity one year.
Little Blackstreet.
Yeah, I did The Way You Move as well.
Outkast.
Man. Yeah, I like music, so I feel like I got a decent taste in music. But now I have no idea. It'd probably be some old school rap though.
Well, I was gonna say I know those songs. I don't think I know any music made after that.
No.
Like at a certain point in time, I just kind of gave up.
Stopped.
Yeah. Alex,
me too.
If they had walkout music, so ECU is going to punt. They have walkout music for the long snapper. What would you choose?
Let me go John Cena's theme song.
All right. Yeah.
That's an easy one.
You play any baseball in your day, Alex?
I played baseball all up until high school.
Okay. What position?
And I played first base and pitched.
All right. Big guy. Put him over at first.
Yeah, pretty
perfect.
Yeah.
Wasn't very fast.
How about you? What other sports did you play?
I played basketball. My uncle's a college basketball coach in Mississippi, NAIA. Winning his college basketball coach in the history of Mississippi.
You were destined to be a coach, it sounds like.
Yeah, my grandfather was a college football coach as well.
There you go.
It was just in the blood.
That's awesome.
I remember talking to my grandmother about what I wanted to do for a living, and I was just going through all these things, and she just looked at me, she stopped me and said, "You're going to coach." I said, "Yes, ma'am."
There you go.
But I played basketball, and then I played a little bit of football. When I was younger and when I first got into high school, but I just realized very quickly that I wasn't that athletic and I wasn't that good at any of these sports, and I probably need to focus on doing something that's going to help me pay for college one day.
Although I've heard Cliff talk about it, he likes guys that play other sports, like maybe not as super into it as baseball, but guys that are versatile.
Yeah, and he definitely does. We all do, right? And so maybe that's why I'm here, right? I'm a multi-sport athlete at some point in my life, so I get you to coach at East Carolina.
Austin, thank you for hanging out, man. We'll catch up with you again on Media Day coming up in a couple Mondays from now, and looking forward to the season. But appreciate you joining us today, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate you having me. I had fun.
Yes, sir. Austin Knight, ECU pitching coach, joining us. We will take a timeout, come back, and have more for you on Pirate Radio Live right after this.
Pest Tech wants to thank Pirate Nation for voting them the #1 pest control company in Eastern North Carolina. Pest Tech is a full-service pest control company offering a complete range of indoor and outdoor pest management and extermination services. Your experience is the Pest Tech guarantee, with a promise to deliver you results while keeping you, your family, and the environment safe. Call the best of the best to get rid of your pests. 353-4760. Pest Tech, the official pest control company of Pirate Radio.
And then it was two seagulls!
We're here for the booty.
Party?
Pirate Water is here. Go to drinkpiratewater.com to find Pirate Water in a location near you.
We're going plankton!
Pirate Water is here. 21 and older, please drink responsibly.
Hey Pirate Nation, be sure to have the best and comfortable shoes with a stop at Fleet Feet. This is ECU alum Chris Lunyon, owner of Fleet Feet of Greenville, and we provide solutions through one-on-one service to runners, walkers, and everyone in between. Fleet Feet has the tools and technology to get you in the right shoe, including a 3D foot scanner that measures arch height, width, and more. Come visit us at 207 East Arlington Boulevard in the old Gordon's Golf location. Fleet Feet, we run for you.
I'm Caleb Stroud, the founder of Stroud's Marine. I grew up on the water and I've loved boating my entire life. In 2012, I decided to give back to the marine community by creating a way for boaters to order pre-owned salvage marine parts online. Stroud's Marine was born to offer incredible prices and unparalleled customer service. We stand behind every part we sell, and our mission is to save you money and get you back on the water as quickly as possible. Visit StroudsMarine.com today for more information. Stroud's Marine, your best source for salvage outboard parts.
Great food, great atmosphere, and great service is Ottavola Market Cafe. Ottavola is simply a restaurant that focuses on that, being a great restaurant. There's something for everyone at Ottavola. The menu offers a variety of great choices like pastas, pizzas, sandwiches, soups, salads, and seasonal rotating selections. Lunch or dinner, Ottavola is always the right call. Call ahead and get Ottavola to go, or stop by the bar for a drink with friends. It's simple. Come and eat at Ottavola Market Cafe, Red Banks Road next to Food Lion, and OttavolaMarket.com. Ottavola, pirates supporting pirates.
You've worked hard to make your business successful, and that's why it's really important to always have a bank in your corner when you need them. This is former ECU baseball player Ashley Capps from First Bank, and our experienced team of local bankers includes Lee Watson, Chris Richards, Josh Hooten, and Heath Nisbet. To get the business services that are right for your business today, come and see someone on our team at First Bank on Arlington Boulevard here in Greenville. First Bank, together with our customers, we're creating a world where individuals and communities thrive.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Basketball season is Bud Light season. Bud Light is America's favorite light beer and the official beer of the ECU Pirates. Whether you're headed to watch a game in person or a viewing party with friends, be sure to pick up or order some Bud Light and enjoy the game. Bud Light carefully brews their beer to be perfect for anywhere there's fun, because when there's fun, Bud Light is there. Have fun this basketball season, Pirate Nation, and always stay in the game, and please drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Go Pirates!
Here's the deal. When you combine State Farm home and auto insurance, you can save an average of $889 per year. Hi, I'm State Farm agent Timothy Sawyer, and I'm ready to help you combine your home and auto and save in Greenville, North Carolina. Call 493-0002 today to get started on your personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Pirate Radio.
It's great to be on. This is an honor. You know, Pirate Radio is kind of a cult following around North Carolina, so I'm excited.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. 5th Street Hardware Restaurant and Tap Room is your favorite place in downtown Greenville for lunch, dinner, or drinks with friends. 5th Street serves lunch and dinner Tuesday through Sunday, plus brunch starting at 10:30 on Saturdays and Sundays. Follow 5th Street on Instagram for the latest events and specials. 5th Street Hardware Restaurant and Tap Room, right beside the State Theater in downtown Greenville. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
Who? Do we have another break to take?
We do. We
All
have
right.
one more break to take.
All right, we'll do a short seg here. Matt Zenitz with 24/7 says that Jake Garcia is expected to transfer to ECU.
Oof.
The former Miami and Missouri quarterback was a class of 2021 top 50 overall recruit. This will be our second top 100 Garcia in the past few years.
Wow.
Coming to ECU. Alex, can you jump in a team group chat and see if you have a new teammate and let us know?
I can.
All right, appreciate that. How you doing?
Nobody will probably respond or comment on that. But.
Fair enough. We got a source.
Back-to-back years with a quarterback battle, and will a quarterback be named?
I was talking to a gentleman last night before sports trivia about bringing in 2 transfer quarterbacks, and he talked about the competition that maybe Mike Houston and John David Baker want to compete, and in that case, the more the merrier, I say. I mean, Caden Hauser or
Absolutely.
Jake Garcia is good enough to win this job. May the best man win, and let's get this freaking offense going.
Let's go. I'm fired up, baby.
Jake Garcia. From one Garcia to another.
It is interesting, though. It felt like Caden Hauser was
the guy.
Maybe being handed the reins.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Now, I do have one question. Is this Garcia Italian?
Wait, Mason.
Jake Garcia.
Alex, that is a reference to a fifth quarter call. Holton Ahlers' final game. It was after the bowl game, I guess. We had a caller. I wish I knew how it was labeled so we could hear it.
He said, push away the barbecue.
Time to push away that barbecue plate.
And bring on the pasta.
Yeah, the pasta.
Because it's Garcia time. And we all kind of looking around like, huh?
Dang, that dude couldn't even let us celebrate the bowl game.
Nope.
He was already moving on to next season.
Yes.
Yeah.
And for some reason thought the Garcia name was Italian as well. So it was, hey, call of the night. Great call on the U.S. Sailor fifth quarter call-in show. Have we ever had a caller completely just verbally undress Alex Harper for a bad snap?
I don't think so.
I don't either. I think
they haven't had to. Have you had a bad snap?
No.
No. Like in a game? Maybe in practice?
Let's reword it.
I've had subpar ones for sure.
I was going to have you had an awful snap?
Well, I think
rolling on the ground, way over the head.
No. Okay, exactly. Yeah, we're knocking. But you've had one that aren't where you want it, the hip, Chandler. What do you tell me you want it?
Right hip, right?
Right hip.
Yep.
You've had one on the left hip, maybe the left boob or something.
I've had a couple about knee level, maybe. A couple at the face mask.
Oh, we added a new specialist.
Yes, we did.
With a famous last name. Brad Maynard's kid.
From App State.
What's his name? Brad Maynard's kid. It's not Brad Maynard. Okay, here we go. Connor Maynard. I remember his dad punting in the NFL.
Long-time NFL punter.
Connor Maynard. So there you go. You got a new buddy, Alex.
Yeah. He's on campus already. I'm a little surprised at how late that was announced because he's already here. I've met him already.
Well, look, if you need to take a day off to get on the field and snap him the ball, we'll understand. We don't want to keep you away from...
No, man, I got the mornings off.
Okay.
So we'll work out in the mornings. Grad school all online, baby. So, we're just going to work out, get in the field work in, and then I'll be here for the show.
Trivia champion, producer, long snapper.
Does it all.
You got a hell of a resume.
Trying to wear a lot of hats.
Yeah. What can't he do?
Let's ask him. What can't you do? Can you dunk?
No, I can't.
All right, there you go.
There we go.
We figured it out. Let's take our final break. We'll come back and wrap it up here on a Thursday. Pirate Radio Live. We'll let you know what's coming up on Friday. Got a couple of guests we'll let you know about when we return after this.
15-time best-selling author, keynote speaker, and global influencer John Gordon is coming to Greenville in March. John was ranked number 6 as one of the top leadership speakers in the world and will be our featured guest at the Pirate Radio Luncheon on Monday, March 18th. Hey, John, tell us more about your upcoming visit.
Hey, Pirate Nation. John Gordon here. I am so excited about coming to Greenville, North Carolina and East Carolina University March 18th, where I'm going to talk about ways to enhance your mindset, improve your leadership, and build a stronger team. We're going to activate the positive competitive advantage together. I hope to see you there. Go Pirates.
Don't miss out on this huge opportunity to enhance your mindset, improve your leadership skills, and create a better future for you and your team. To reserve a table, contact me, Jonathan Ellerby, at ellerby@pirateradio1250.com. We look forward to seeing you in March.
You know, texting while driving is dangerous. That's not new information. Yet most people admit to doing it anyway. Drivers are 23 times more likely to be involved in a car accident while texting. Know the facts and wait to text. The danger is real and it applies to you. Auto Owners Insurance, the no problem people. Information provided by Virginia Tech Transportation Institute.
This is Norm Bryant with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates.
Okay, honey, did you get those things done that I asked you to do?
Yes, dear.
Really? You cleaned the gutters?
Yes, dear.
And replaced our HVAC system?
Yes, dear. Doing it right now.
Really?
I called Delcor. They got us a brand new HVAC unit for just $120 a month. And for only $30 more a month, we got the Delcor service plan that covers preventative maintenance and repairs for 10 years.
Go to DelcorInc.com for a new HVAC system from Trane. It's hard to stop a Trane. Delcor, the service professionals.
Chico's Mexican Restaurant is the home of the best margaritas. Grab your amigos and head to Chico's every Tuesday for the Gulf of Mexico. A huge 38-ounce lime margarita for only $8.99. On Thursdays, relax and enjoy half-price pitchers of Chico's house margaritas. Choose from lime, strawberry, blood orange, raspberry, or peach. For Mexican food and fun, it's got to be Chico's Mexican Restaurant in downtown Greenville and online at chicosrestaurant.com. Chico's, where the fiesta never ends.
I'm Donald Stocks, owner of Pip Marketing Signs Print. We are your one-stop shop for just about anything printed. If we're not your go-to printer, please give us a call at 355-1636. We have over 80 5-star Google reviews and want you to be our next more than satisfied and well-pleased customer. Check us out at growatpip.com or stop in to see us at 3185 Mosley Drive in Greenville. Pip, where business goes to grow.
Wings Over has always been a great go-to for dinner or a late night snack, and it still is. But did you know you don't have to wait for dinner to get Wings Over? That's right. Wings Over Greenville is now open for lunch 7 days a week. Get Wings Over for lunch and have it delivered right to the office. Wings Over also caters so everyone at work can enjoy. Wings Over Greenville has over 20 flavors to choose from, including the limited edition Cajun garlic flavor. Order today by going online at wingsover.com or by calling 758-9464. Wings Over, they deliver.
Hey you, yeah you, have you heard? Greenville Auto World is under new ownership and is now part of the DriveHereNow.com network. DriveHereNow.com is run by local people who buy, service, detail, and sell everything directly to you. Greenville Auto World is now the 5th dealership to join the DriveHereNow.com network. Get car shopping today at DriveHereNow.com and choose a location near you. DriveHereNow.com, serving Eastern North Carolina for over 47 years and proud supporter of the Pirates.
Pirate Radio.
If you're going to put your name on something, it better be your best work.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. The Dow was up 15 points today, finished out at 37,711. The NASDAQ remained basically unchanged at 14,970. S&P dropped 3 points, however, at 4,780. That's your Wells Fargo Advisors Stock Market Report. For a personal look into investing, call Wells Fargo Advisors today at 756-6900 in Greenville. Wells Fargo Advisors, LLC, member SIPC. Now let's head back into the show. Here's Clip.
We'll have our Friday regulars coming up tomorrow. Tony Dunn to pick the wild card weekend. Brian North, Greeny, Morgan Ahlers. Also, we'll add in former ECU defensive coordinator Greg Hudson and former ECU pitcher, now with the Guardians organization, Carter Spivey.
Nice.
We're going to be guest heavy on a Friday, and we'll have a lot of fun heading in to the weekend. Shirley Rhodes, great work as always. Alex, great week. Running it by yourself, doing the thing. Sean?
Yes, sir. Hey.
Took over the hosting duties today. Good work.
Holton Ahlers Show coming up.
Holton Ahlers Show coming up right now on Pirate Radio. We'll see you Friday. Jeff Charles, take us home.
Pinkies up.
Have a great night, Eastern Carolina.
Thanks for listening to Pirate Radio Live, an exclusive presentation of the voice of the Pirate Nation. This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington.
Welcome into the show, everyone. The very first episode of the Holton Ahlers Show. We'd like to say thank you to our sponsors, Anson Belts and Worth Chiropractic. We couldn't do it without you. We hope you enjoyed this show. But if not, as always,
That's too damn bad!
Holton Ahlers turns, and Holton will take off and run himself. He's at the 40-yard line. Holton Ahlers to the 30. Look at him go! 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Pirates!
There's local politics, bud.
It's showtime! And we are here, boys. It's been a while. You're about to meet the walk-ons, Caden, Jack, and Drew. A lot of time